Yeah, it's already started.
Okay, and go ahead and pop on to Twitch real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And you're also going to be audible in this one, so you're going to also hear your own voice, just so we can get the test ready for Tuesday
Yeah.
as well.
We're doing test peoples.
Okay.
And I'm trying to. I'm waiting for it to go live on Twitch.
Okay. Sometimes it takes a moment. Sorry for the VOD and all that other stuff. We're just had some issues with volume over the last couple sessions, so we're just doing a double checking the audio test.
And okay.
Is it going?
And just making sure it's under. Okay. Oh, ads. Go away, ads. I do not care for ads.
I love that as you're freaking out about how to listen to it, this is going to be on the recording.
Yeah, I know. Hi, everyone.
Technical difficulties, yeah. I have the tune in my head. Someday I will sit down with like Fruity Loops or some other music program and make a technical diffy song.
I think it's funny that with all our technology, we have not mastered audio.
Apparently, she has not mastered headphones either.
Yeah, but still, like, I mean, like, with any audio thing, you think it'd be, like,
So,
pretty easy by now.
I'm hearing two lots. I'm trying to figure out which one's which. Oh, that's weird. I think we're good.
Okay, you think we're good? Can you hear me fine?
Yeah, you're good. You're about 5 seconds
Conrad?
behind what you're actually saying, so yeah, you're
Say
good.
something short.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
Nice.
Okay, and now you. That's you, honey.
Hello.
Something longer than that. Come on now.
A B C D E F G H I J K L M N P. I got shy.
Well, I think we lost her. Okay. Well, you don't have to watch the stream anymore if it sounds good. And from there, we're just gonna go ahead and proceed.
Okay.
Okay.
So, when last we saw the heroes of the Onyx Circle, and I'm not gonna be doing this intro on every single one. Actually, I do. Jesus Christ, what did I do? Why did I do this? Anyways, when last we saw the heroes of the Onyx Circle, were finishing up the last bit of time that they had off, um, within the desert capital of Anur Oasis. Um, they enjoyed each other's company a little bit. They got to see a wonderful parade on the last evening that they had, where they got to see two very interesting things. The first was a mysterious elven civilization, country, whatever you want to call it, that entered within the city, um, that were all encased in kind of like a blue-white theme with ice surrounding a lot of their stuff. Um, all elven, and the main attaché of the group basically were riding on the back of a, by your guys' guess in the size, maybe an elder white dragon. So not the biggest dragon you've seen, but still, fuck all scary. Uh, sorry, I almost forgot to mention the big part about it. One thing that you all noticed very quickly is that the female elves that were riding on the back of the dragon, they all seem to look eerily like Naturia. Different color hair and more alabaster skin, but the facial structure, the actual shape of the face looked very reminiscent to her. Older versions of her, younger versions of her, and a few other ones that seemed like they could have been, maybe sisters or cousins. Still very similar looking. So you guys were all kind of shaken up and startled about that, but no rest for the wicked, as that little cadre of people finished walking through the gates of the city. Another group started entering, and this group was led by a full squad of Warforged Minotaur, looking exactly like and moving exactly like your lost friend Cletus. And at the center of this parade, there was a human male, and a Minotaur female that seemed to be, the two leading this one. And you guys quickly recognized by the armor and the looks of things and some of the, banners and things like that, that these were the Imperial soldiers from um, Nats and Cletus's home that you guys had a few runnings in with so far since arriving in Elwis. The last group that you guys ran into were completely wiped out by the Platinum Band. So the parade had ended. You guys were like kind of confused, weirded out, and a little worried. Some of you guys went home. Some of you guys went to go ask the crowd for more information, and some of you guys decided to follow the parade a little bit, or wanted to follow the parade a bit. Um, Arena found out that the Elvish group were referred to as the White Procession, and later you guys found out that it was Andali, which loosely in Elvish translates to the Deep Winter. And you guys had also found out that they're a pretty okay group, pretty good group. The citizens of an Oasis seem to be okay with them, and that the last time this group came through was a very long time ago. A lot of the civilians that were human were elderly people, and they said that they had seen them when they were children. So it's a group that obviously does not come by often. So you guys finished that evening relatively peacefully. Then the next day, the group reconvened, and you guys were all called to the Brass Sultan, where you guys were instructed that shit is hitting the fans. It is now 100% confirmed that the shit that's going on is being controlled by dragons in some way or the other. And that there's too many parts moving right now. With the Green Hand, the dragons, the things with the Platinum Band, issues within Celestia, like everything's just going to shit. So in order for you to be assets for the king or to the sultan, since you guys did not really do too great on your last job for him, he has decided that the best course of action would be to spend some time to train up so that you guys would be better prepared for the coming chaos. Um, yeah, you guys were basically told that, with the big attack that had happened on the caravan and you guys, dealing with so many people, and just the pace at which things move in Elwis, that, like a month training would be enough for you guys to get a leg up, but, probably not, miss anything crazy. So you guys were all given your respective teachers, and following that, you guys were told to enjoy your last evening, and the next day you were to begin your training. Conrad,
Yes.
so you finished your evening.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty nice, relaxing, nothing too crazy. You went up to your room, and you're like, I'm gonna sleep. And you slept.
Mm-hmm.
Um, You ever have those nights where it's like you fall asleep, but then it feels like you're waking up and there was like no time in between?
Yeah.
This is the opposite of that. It gets to the point when you're sleeping that you realize that you're asleep. You're not dreaming, but you know you're asleep.
Okay.
There's nothing but darkness. You can't feel your body. You pause for a moment, and you're like, "Oh God, is this gonna be another stupid dream vision?" No, no, this ain't it. But you can't move. You can't. I don't know. It's just you're trying to shake it off, and you struggle for a while because you're kind of cognitive this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not in control of your body, and you're just still asleep. And this goes on for when things are happening in your sleep, it's hard to track time, but it feels
Yeah.
like it goes on for a while. Um, but eventually you find yourself waking up, slowly creeping your eyes over. Oh God, it's bright, so bright. Dix's rooms are usually dark. Why do you feel so sluggish? What do you do?
I guess Conrad would try to open his eyes and just try to see where he's at, like his surrounding wise.
It's hard. You know that oversleep or no sleep feeling of where your eyes feel
Yes, very much so.
It has that feeling, but not just that. It's very bright.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, your window in Dix's doesn't face the mountain,
Mm-hmm.
but even in the morning and stuff, yours doesn't face the mountain. So in the morning, you don't have like that sunlight coming at you.
Yeah.
Um, maybe you slept in, because that
Hmm.
light is shining right at your face.
What's it called? Conrad will try to like kind of lift himself up and see if he can
It's hard.
hard.
Your
Yeah.
your your body feels like jello, heavy jello,
Mm-hmm.
but you start shifting. You're not in a cloth bed. You feel sand,
Sand. Okay.
warm sand.
Like so he's kind of like so he's able to like move, right?
Yep, you're starting to pick yourself up.
So where is he? Like he's gonna kind of look around, like see if he still has his stuff. Like,
You
does
look
he like
down.
still? Yeah.
You have nothing on. I mean, nothing.
So he's just kind of bare.
You are as bare as the day you were born.
Okay.
And
Oddly enough, I thought it was funny because I was looking at my character sheet. I'm like, oh, that's different.
you notice some things, yeah.
Yeah.
And Conrad, your neck.
What? He's gonna feel around his neck.
You on the left side of your neck, you reach forward, and there's something like on your neck. It's something thin.
Hmm. He's gonna kind of feel around. Is it like around his neck? Is there anything like
No, it's kind of like protruding from your neck.
protruding from his neck? Hmm. What would it be to kind of like feel it around to kind of like get a sense of what it looks like is like kind of like tactilely like feel it. You know what I mean?
It feels like a tube with some furry stuff sticking out the tip.
And it's like protruding out of the center of his neck, I guess.
Out of the left side of your neck.
Okay. Is there anyone around him?
You look around, you see a very large, um, um, kind of like Pueblo, in wood tile. It's kind of like stone with a wood tile. To the behind you, you see a large pond, and there's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of greenery,
Okay.
surprisingly, despite the amount of sand you're on. And there are patches of grass.
Hmm. So Conrad would, I guess, head to this Pueblo area, and then be like, hello? Is anyone there?
Mom. Blah, 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 blah. That's what you hear from inside.
Inside the house, I assume.
It's very large.
Okay. Conrad's going to kind of slowly approach it.
Okay.
Is there a window at all?
There is one, about like 9 feet off the ground, 10 feet. It's not really so much a window, just kind of like a barred hole.
Okay, so, okay. Is there a door?
A massive one.
Okay, so what Conrad's going to do is he's going to kind of walk around, kind of get the perimeter of the house, so to speak.
Okay. Facing the house, do you go right or left?
Left.
Okay. You begin going through, and at the bottom of the building, like it seems to have like another attachment that is a lot shorter and a lot thinner.
Okay.
And you continue on, and you pass through like some foliage and some bushes.
Mm-hmm.
And you pass through, and you see a elder white dragon surrounded by a whole bunch of the soldiers that you saw the previous evening in the white and blue armor.
Mm-hmm.
And standing next to them, you see some of the females from that look like they don't look like the ones that you saw on top of the dragon, but they still have that eerie kind of like similar to Nat look.
Okay. First thing, Conrad's gonna kind of
Give me a
like,
stealth check.
yeah.
What's sitting in these bushes?
uh, this is a stark naked man like walking. Okay, let's see. Stealth.
And I will say, beyond the dragon and those people, you see a gigantic familiar wall.
Yeah, that's about right. It's actually a low roll as well.
Um, yeah. You're like kind of peeking through, and snap. You're kind of startled by it, and you didn't realize that you stepped on a branch,
Mm-hmm.
and they all look over at you.
Conrad's gonna like. So is like there like a wall, like the house wall.
What do you mean?
So like as I understand, like I was like kind of peeking along the bush, like from like the side of the house, right?
Okay. With what you've seen right now, give me an intelligence check.
Sure, yeah. I'm just trying to get a sense of like positioning where Conrad is at, like more sense.
Yeah.
Intelligence. Boom.
Okay. Your token has been updated.
Okay. Yeah, so that's actually kind of what I was figuring. So which way, like just like for the player perspective, right? Are they up here or are they to this side?
They're right over here.
Right over here. Okay,
And they are
Alright.
all garking at you. One of them like kind of like raises her hand, like the modesty, like, oh.
yeah, I was like trying to like
kind of like giggling at each other. The guards kind of look over, eyebrows raised.
if there's like a bush or like something that's like at least like you know
You back
waist
up
high.
and back into the bush.
Yeah. Hi. I don't know how I ended up here. Is anyone seen Raimi or my clothes?
Give me a perception check.
Shall do. Perception. For some reason, I always have trouble finding perception rolls.
It's in alphabetical order.
Yeah, I'm aware. 29.
Okay. You say that, and they're still talking and giggling, and you kind of listen in.
Mm-hmm.
They're not speaking common.
I was speaking Elven.
Sort of. You
Hmm.
do pick up some elvish like root words,
Yeah.
but it's not enough to even understand what they're saying. You can get the sense with them staring at you, giggling and kind of whispering to each other that you're
Mhm.
the topic of conversation, but you're not quite sure what they're saying.
So context-wise, like I get they're talking about me, but even with my Elvish like language, I don't know exactly what they're saying. Gotcha. Okay.
It sounds very elvish. That's why you're able to pick up on kind of like the root because you know elvish, but it's not.
Yeah. So like you said, there's guards there as well,
Yes.
and they're in our Oasis guards.
No.
No, who are they?
They are the white guards that came in from with the dragon and stuff.
Okay, that's good to know.
Guards.
Sorry. Can you just point me to some palace guard by chance?
No response.
No response. Okay. Kari will just kind of back up and like thank you, kind of wave and like I guess head towards this side, like up here to the house.
Okay. Just to let you know, you still have the thing in your neck.
Okay. Uh. Okay. Yeah, Kara's still gonna back up.
You can move your token where you need to.
So like kind of like here, like you see if like there's any. Actually, wait. So you said the dragon was here as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. As the Conrad's just trying to move here, like closer to the shed, see if there's a door.
There is a very large one.
Conrad will try to open it.
Okay, and as you get by the door,
Mhm,
you see a couple more of the elvish females over
mhm.
here
Okay.
talking to an attendee of the royal court, one of the kind of maids of the palace.
Okay. Now, real
You
quick
also
question.
see some more over here with
Okay.
a few elvish gentlemen um that also have the white hair. They are all in armor, the
Okay.
gentlemen are, and the females are still, it's all the females of the Andali, they wear these like very open flowing kind of dresses that
Okay.
a lot of them, it's like it's almost like maybe like a silk or something dress, and then they have like how Nat stuff has like that kind of like almost see-through material over top.
Yeah.
They had the same thing, but it's not like in strips, kind of like how Nats is. Theirs is like it's almost like wearing a second dress.
Okay.
Even from this distance, it almost seems like they're just surrounded like in an air of ice.
Okay. So you said the palace attendant was here, right?
Yes.
So Conrad's gonna try to like, for lack of a better word, kind of like like when you like sneak from side to side to kind of like like cover yourself.
I will say,
Uh huh.
once you see where your token is,
Yeah. See, I was about to say, is that possible? Because it seems
from
like it's
here, it's just an open space.
okay.
There is a little bit of shrubbery over here, but the next like bit of green that you could hide would be all the way over here.
Okay, yeah. So Conrad, and you said they're right there, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Conrad's gonna make his way to this bush.
Okay. Give me a stealth
Eh,
check.
shall do. Again, well, he's not like really openly trying to stealth. He's just like mainly just trying to cover the waist side kind of side.
Give me a stealth check.
Shall do. 22.
Okay.
Another low roll. Jesus.
You almost slip in the sand as you kind of dash over, which
Mhm.
gets the attention of these people over here. Oh wait, I'm selling goddamn ruler. Over here,
Okay.
and then now they're all looking at you.
Conrad's just gonna meekly wave.
The two gentlemen kind of like stand in front of the ladies,
Hmm.
just giving you that look of like, okay, naked man, stay away from the women.
Yeah. So Conrad's gonna like, he kind of like looks over to that way,
Okay.
and he's like, "Excuse me, miss. Like you said there was a royal attendant there, right?"
Yes.
Okay. He's gonna say, "Excuse me, miss."
As soon as you say that, your world starts to flip. A large, painful impact on the side of your head as you are now turning, feet overhead, splash. You're in the water.
Okay. So was I like kind of pushed in or what?
Your head's ringing.
Mm-hmm.
You took 2 points of damage.
Okay, shall do.
Your ear hurts. Something definitely knocked your ass into the water.
Conrad's gonna kind of like try to get himself out of the water, like, and look at the direction where he was knocked out.
Nothing.
Huh. What did it feel like? Like the impact? Like, did it feel like did I have like a physical touch to it?
Oh yeah.
Like a fist?
Bigger than a fist.
Okay.
It almost encompassed the entirety of the left side of your head.
Okay. Interesting.
And the thing in your neck is no longer there. It's floating next to you.
What is it? Like, can I actually pick it up?
Yeah, it's a dart
Oh.
with the red feathers out the tip of it, or out the back of it.
Okay. This is interesting. Hmm. So what would be a perception check to kind of look around to see if there's anything hidden?
Perception.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Damn it.
You look around. You have no idea what hit you. You don't know where it went. You see the guards kind of like staring at you. The attendee um is gesturing to the ladies to follow her.
Mm-hmm.
She was looking over here for a brief moment and is talking to them, and they're heading over here now.
Okay. Okay. So Conrad's gonna kind of
Feel
first he's gonna
something touching your foot.
Conrad's gonna try to get out of the water as soon as possible.
Okay.
Like he's gonna try to go over here again.
Okay. You get up to the rocky side. You
Mhm.
fucking climb out. You're out of the water.
Okay. So Conrad's gonna try to go back into this shed again.
Okay. You walk up to the door. It's a simple door. Wood. Slides left and right. There's a little
Mhm.
latch on it.
Okay. Is it locked?
I mean, yeah, the latch is down.
But like, I mean, like, is there a lock on it? Like, can he actually just pick up the lock? Okay. Conrad's gonna try to, move the latch and enter.
Too easy. You do so. You push the door aside. You're staring at a large barn with
Okay.
lots of pens, and there are a few animals. Some you recognize, some you don't.
Okay. Is there another is there another door, or is it just in the barn?
On the opposite side, there is another door. That's the only one you can see from where you're at.
Mhm.
And there, to the left and right, it basically that disappears, as you know, you just can't see it from this perspective.
Okay.
So you don't know where those lead.
Okay.
But it seems to be a lining of cages and pens.
Hmm. All right. Card is gonna try to. I guess he's gonna make his way into the barn
Okay.
and try to go
As
through the
soon
door.
as you step your first foot into the barn,
Hmm.
feel something cinch around your leg.
Okay.
As your leg is pulled out from under you, you smack your face into the sand,
Hmm.
and you're flung about 30, 40 feet into the air and splashed.
Okay.
You think you set off a trap. By the time you get out from the water, you
Mhm.
look up and you just see the barn door closing.
Okay. Again, Conrad's gonna get out of the water again.
Okay.
And he's gonna try to make his way down this way now.
Okay.
I will try to go here first.
Okay. You get to the bush. You are in the bush.
Is that like a tent over there?
Yes.
Is there anyone in there?
It's closed. You can't tell.
Okay.
But at this point, you do notice that the attendee is
Mhm.
talking to these people over here, and she is gesturing to come around this way. And they begin to walk.
So,
There are a couple animals around. There is basically a six-legged sheep.
mhm.
As they pass that, the attendee stops and gestures towards it, and you see one of the females reach down and kind of pet it, and she kind of giggles a little bit. The one of the elven gentlemen kind of smile, and they continue to proceed on.
So, Kyra would like to see if he can try to make it towards, ideally here,
Okay.
like kind of by going like here, here. Just kind of making his way down there.
Okay. Are you trying to intercept them?
Essentially, yes.
Okay. Okay. As soon as you go to step out from the bush,
Mhm.
you feel something grab your waist, and you are yanked back through the bush. You feel an arm or something around your waist,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a dense foliage. You can't make out what it is. You do see flesh color until you don't see anything. You don't feel it on your waist anymore,
Mm-hmm.
and you are now about 10 feet in the air, falling backwards.
Okay.
You guessed it. You're back in the water.
Okay. Kind of like looking very frustrated at this point.
Are you still underneath the water, arms crossed, just like, God damn it?
Yeah, essentially, yes.
You feel something poke the side of your face.
Look towards it.
Um, this is a sea dog.
Okay.
Imagine a sea lion, but with the head of a dog.
Okay.
No fur, just it's very reminiscent of a dog,
Okay.
and it's just kind of has its tongue lolling out, and its tail is just kind of wagging
Mm-hmm.
back and forth. Like you can tell its main, propulsion is probably the tail, but it's kind of doing it in a swirling motion to where it's not moving. It's just kind of like swirling around the tail, and it's just looking up at you expectingly.
Conrad just kind of waves, like very meekly.
As soon as you like put up your hand to go wave, it starts nuzzling against your hand.
He does have like spikes, like because I think lionfish has spikes, right?
No, no, not lionfish. Sea lion.
Okay. Sea lion. Okay.
Do you know
Yeah,
what a
but
sea
okay.
lion is?
Yeah, it's like, kind of like the otter thing. Like,
Give me a second.
I mean, I know what a sea lion is. I'm saying it looks like that kind of.
It's the big thing.
Yeah. So kind of like
It's
yeah. Sorry, I thought you said lionfish earlier. So anyway, Conrad will kind of pet it very lightly, just because he's a little freaked out by it. I'm sure he's never seen it before.
It's nuzzling.
Okay.
And as you're petting it, you see two more kind of like start swimming up.
Okay. First things first. Conrad's gonna kind of like I assume he's like kind of like gasping. Is like feeling the need to breathe, right?
I mean, your constitution ain't that bad. You could stay down here for another minute.
Okay. So Conrad's gonna pet the other ones as well as they come.
Those ones don't actually come up to you. They seem a little bit more skittish and meek, and they're kind of sitting back a little bit.
Okay.
They also seem to be a lot smaller than the one you're petting.
Okay. Well, Conrad will just like pet the other one, and he'll try to swim up.
You do so.
So now, you all right?
At this point, the attendee has gotten to about here,
Mm-hmm.
and she sees you surfacing, and you just see her shaking her head. And continue. She looks at you, makes eye contact with you, shakes her head like left and right, and just continues walking with the elves, and they start heading out the area.
Excuse me, can you just point me?
Continues walking.
Oh, gosh.
Give me an insight.
Sure. Damn it!
Yeah, you don't know.
I've not rolled above a 5 today.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, well, maybe once, but the other ones are not looking good. Anyway, Conrad's just gonna. I don't even know what. Like, he's just like a little confused. I guess swim towards like this area. I guess.
Okay.
And he's gonna kind of peek underwater every now and then, just kind of see if there's anything like dangerous under there.
You get to about here. Right around here, and you kind of peek under, and there is a large fish with a huge, sharp, fangy maw heading right towards you.
He's gonna try to get out of the water as fast as he can.
Okay. You don't quite make it over to here.
Mhm.
You kind of have to cut over to here.
Yeah, I was about to say yeah.
But you're out of the water, and you watch as you kind of peek back instinctually, and you just kind of see the entity kind of like swim up to where you got out. You
Mhm.
can see its fin surfacing almost like a shark, and it
Mhm.
just kind of like bumps into the edge of the pond and starts swimming back towards the center.
Okay. So he got here, I assume, right?
Yep.
He's gonna try to make his way into this tent.
Okay.
But before he enters, he's gonna kind of try to see if there's any other kind of spring-loaded thing.
Okay. You take a single step towards the tent. You hear another splash. You feel something wrap around your waist again, and basically you get suplexed backwards. All you see is the beautiful Inner Oasis sky for a moment. A couple clouds in the sky. And you're like, ah, fuck. And then
Yeah.
splash.
Okay. I assume I'm here now.
Yep.
Again, try to surface before the
Yep.
fish gets me. He's gonna try to go here.
Yeah. You clamber over. You get up, and once again, you look around, and there you don't see anyone else.
So what would it be? I guess total defense action.
Sure.
So Conrad's just try to like be very, aware of like what's around him and try to like, I guess, be perspective of it and like dodge out of the way if he can.
Okay. You can't do that while moving.
Okay, yeah. See, I wasn't sure how that worked. And what's over here, by the way?
It's a large fountain. Very beautiful.
Okay.
The
And
centerpiece are two serpents kind of intertwining, and they kind of, the sign of the medical, the two snakes intertwined and they're facing each other.
okay.
I believe it was it Mercury's old symbol? As some of the old Greek gods' symbol. Give me a second. Oh yeah, it was Hermes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the caduceus.
Okay.
Do you know what that is?
I have no idea what that is.
If you're watching the stream, just look up caduceus.
Anyway,
It's kind of like that. Two snakes, or two serpents. One's definitely a snake. The other one looks a little different.
okay, interesting.
But it is serpent or reptilian-like.
Conrad is gonna try to make his way towards that, I guess.
Okay, you do so.
Is there anything there aside from the fountain?
Yes, there is a single dagger.
Conrad's
Very
gonna...
recognizable dagger.
Okay.
It's your dagger.
Out of character, I didn't even know I had a dagger.
Yep. It was in your inventory. You picked it up a long time ago. Never used it.
Sure enough. Conrad's gonna kind of pick it up and like, oh, motherfucker.
Okay, you can re-add that dagger to your inventory.
Okay.
I already updated your weapons on there.
Okay. Alright, well, I have dagger now, so yeah, there we go.
Yep.
So Conrad's gonna kind of hold it and kind of go like, So there's nothing else other than the dagger, right?
Just a dagger.
Okay. Conrad's just trying to make his way over here now.
You do so.
And he's gonna look for anything else that seems like his stuff.
Okay. You get to right around there, and you start poking through a bush, and you are now 5 feet away from a large tiger.
Okay.
It's laying down. It's one paw over the other, and it's currently licking the top paw.
Doesn't notice me right now.
As of right now, no.
He's gonna try to stealthily back up.
Okay, go ahead and roll that stealth.
Shall do.
Yeah, you slowly back out of the bush, like all super sneaky style.
Mm-hmm.
Um, doesn't seem to have taken notice.
And so I didn't see anything from my stuff around that area, did I?
Nope.
Okay. Conrad's just kind of slowly back up. Get to here, and he's gonna try to do the same thing, but over here now.
Okay.
Just kind of like peek around, see if there's any of his stuff around there.
Give me a perception check.
Okay, shall do. That's better.
No.
Okay. Okay. So now, question: this tent, right?
Yes.
Does it look like it's made of cloth, hide, or what?
Um, it seems to have a base of cloth, but it seems to have like these hides stretched over it.
Okay. Now he's gonna not go through the back here. He's actually gonna see if he can go over here to the side and kind of like cut a hole into it and
Okay.
enter.
As soon as you step out of that
Of
bush,
course.
you look down
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, "Fuck!" There's a rope around your ankle, and you like pause there for a moment, and you're like, "Okay, maybe a shrink," and you're back in the water.
Motherfucker, he says as he enters in the water. I assume like here or something like that.
Yeah.
Is the rope still attached to him though?
Nope.
Okay. Again, surface.
Okay.
Uh, he's gonna try to go here now.
Okay.
Again, look for his stuff.
You continue to look. Just to save time, you
Mm-hmm.
search. Do you try to go towards the tent at all?
No. If anything, he's gonna try the surrounding area at this point.
Okay. You could spend the next 30, 40 hour searching around the entire pond,
Mm-hmm.
all the bushes and stuff like that. You kind of have to stay away from this area
Okay. Because
because
tiger.
it's not just tiger. You get to about over here and poke your head through these bushes. And remember that gigantic reptilian gorilla thing that you guys had seen?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there and it's much bigger than you remember.
Okay.
And it is breaking apart an animal, ripping off the meat, throwing it over the shoulder, cracking open these thick, heavy bones, like
Mm-hmm.
uh bigger than a bovine bone. I don't know if you've ever seen a bovine like hip bone or anything like that. They're massive bones.
Okay.
These bones are bigger, and he's just breaking them with his bare hands, and he starts sucking the marrow out of it.
Okay.
You notice that the tiger kind of like looks over, grabs the meat, and just
Mm-hmm.
starts eating it.
Okay.
But throughout the entire search, you find none of your stuff.
Okay. At that point, Conrad would
We'll say you're right out here right now.
Okay. At that point, Conrad would try to go here and then out.
Okay. You get to about here.
Okay.
Once again, in the bushes, you feel a familiar sense. I was like, oh, something's gonna happen. And you like reach down for your waist, and you're like, oh, there's nothing. Something right around your neck.
Mm-hmm.
Yanks you back and doesn't throw you in the water, throws you into this bush over here.
Okay. He says. This is extremely frustrating. Throughout this time, by the way, has he seen anything like fruit, anything like that, like food?
You haven't really been looking.
Fair enough. Um,
I mean, you can always attempt to try.
yeah, I guess he'll try to do that then. Like, look for fruit or anything like.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
Sure.
Okay. You do see that a few of the trees and vegetation around here does have fruit or
Okay.
something of some types. Though you don't know what's gonna be edible.
So I was about to say, like, because he would stay away from anything that he doesn't immediately recognize as, like, you know,
Sure, give me a nature check.
yeah.
Okay. This tree over here,
Okay.
uh, you don't recognize it. You've seen banana trees or bananas grow before.
Hmm.
Um, in your travels after you had left your town.
Hmm.
This doesn't look exactly like those, but it does look like there's bananas growing.
Okay.
Bad news, they're about 26 feet up in the air.
Okay.
Have you ever seen a coconut tree?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the trunk of it looks like a coconut tree.
Okay. Anything else?
I mean, the other ones you've never seen before,
Okay.
so it's a shot in the dark.
And you said over there was kind of like where that gorilla thing was, like there, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm just put it in perspective. Like this lake is hundreds of feet across, so like there's
Gotcha.
some distance between the bananas and him.
Mm-hmm. Huh. All right, Connor's gonna go for the banana tree then.
Okay. How do you go at said banana tree?
So, now, is there anyone that seems like any bananas that seem like they're about to fall, if anything, like, 'cause you know, like how like certain things like they once they grow fruit, eventually they fall down.
Yeah. Bananas grow kind of like in bushels.
Okay,
Um, and because of that, they're kind of sturdy.
fair enough.
Um, I mean, there are a few that look like they're about ready to be ripe, but as far as like ones that are going to fall, none really.
Okay. And you said that this is just like a straight like climb, obviously, because it's a tree, right?
Yep.
Hmm.
And there are no branches going up.
Gotcha. I figured. And nothing around the tree.
Sand and grass.
Okay. Is there a rock at all?
No, there are not.
Okay. Hmm. All right, never mind. I'm not gonna risk it. Connor's back away from there.
Okay.
He's gonna, because I think you said like there was some traps here that he sprung before.
Yep.
So he's gonna try to like swim around here and then move his way down that way.
Okay.
He gets here, right?
Okay.
And he's gonna make his way to the fountain essentially.
Okay.
Was there water in the fountain?
Yes.
Connor's gonna drink some water there.
Okay. It is stale. It is disgusting.
Okay.
It is fresh water. But there's a weird flavor to it.
Would I be able to kind of guess what kind of flavor it is?
You're not quite sure.
Not quite sure. Okay.
But it has a weird bitter aftertaste. that kind of puts you off of it. You have like, you get the first one just because you've been wandering around for an hour.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's hot. And the sun is bearing down at you at this point. Like it's around like 10 a.m. ish. You're guessing just by looking at the sky.
Hmm.
Anywhere between 9 and 10, and it's getting towards summertime, and you're in an oasis.
Yeah.
Maybe cooler than the rest of the desert, but it's still fucking hot.
Yeah.
Like it's probably a good 98, 99 right about now, and you are bare ass.
Yeah.
But you scoop that first one just out of thirst, then you scoop the second one, and by then the flavor hits you, and it kind of puts you off the water a little bit.
But was it enough to like quench his thirst, sort of?
Have you ever had 2 scoopfuls of hand water?
Not really.
Let's just say it's never as much as you want.
Fair enough.
I mean, you can keep trying to drink some if you want.
Uh, let's go for one more, then he'll stop.
Okay, give me a Constitution check.
Shall do.
Okay, you have another scoop of water. Still
And
disgusting.
he'll stop and I guess go over here.
Okay, you're in a bush.
And he's gonna try to go over here to this bush.
Okay, you're in that bush.
And he's not gonna approach his head, but he's just ask, is there anyone there?
You hear a low growl.
It sounds like an animal.
Sure,
Is it coming from the tent or somewhere else?
the tent. It's
Okay.
big and bassy.
He's gonna back up then.
You do so.
And
You feel something nudging your side.
looks.
It's a sheep, the 6-legged sheep. It's like butting you a little bit.
Pets it.
It continues to butt you.
Okay. Backs up.
It's starting to get a little bit more impactful.
He's gonna back up away from it.
It starts bleeding at you. And it starts like digging its hooves into the sand a little bit.
He's gonna go way further back then.
Okay. It continues bleeding, but you kind of walk away from it.
Hmm.
It does not give chase.
Okay.
Give me a nature check.
Yes, shall do.
You think that the sheep may have saw your horns, and since you were kind of crouched down in the bush, you're a little bit more eye level with it, or a little bit. You think it was probably trying to challenge you. know,
Okay.
Horns.
As sheeps do.
Yeah, and they saw your horns, so
This one he's kind of like sit down in the sand, just kind of like a little defeated.
okay. You sit and you wait, and you get about 30 minutes into it before you're like, it is fucking hot. You're gonna need to find some shade,
Okay, yeah.
and your stomach is rumbling. You are hungry, you are thirsty, and you are hot.
Yeah. Can I do a nature check to see if like the water in this lake is like drinkable?
I mean, sure.
I figured not.
You reach in and you grab a sip.
Mm-hmm.
This is brackish water. Do you know what brackish water is?
Not really, no.
Brackish water is when salt water and fresh water mix.
Mm-hmm.
Could you drink it? Sure, you can drink any water. Will it be good for your thirst? I don't know.
So if
does it
anything,
really drink, it's kind of still water, and with your training and stuff like that, still water is usually you have to prepare it.
Gotcha.
Animals and stuff can drink it, not people.
Okay. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Question. Under the side of this house, was there like a shade canopy, or no?
There's a little bit of one.
Not really though.
No,
Okay.
probably maybe like a 1 or 2 foot like overhang of the roof. That's about it.
So out of it, like, because I assume my Conrad's kind of surveyed the area a little bit more now, like at this point.
Yeah.
Was there any like shade like areas, like shady areas?
Yeah, there's a lot of the bushes, trees, and stuff like that that you could probably get in between or sit under.
Okay.
Even in these bushy areas, like there are trees. It's a good mix of them. Like,
Okay.
remember, I didn't want to fucking try to make it to scale.
Yeah.
But wherever you see green, there's a good chunk of green.
Conrad's gonna try to go over here then, I guess, and try to find shade.
Easy enough.
And what would it be to kind of like I guess gather materials for like a fire?
Um, Perception to look around for stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. You wander through grabbing leaves, some sticks.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of loose stuff. You do find a little bit. A lot of the stuff here is alive,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, you're only able to get like some small sticks, brushel stuff, and some leaves.
Okay.
Not like thick wood.
Okay.
I mean, you'd have to cut something down to get that.
Yeah. So like that's good. He's kind of got kindling, but was there anything like that might start a fire at all?
There are a couple rocks around the pond on the
Okay.
south side.
You would have to get those as well then.
Or you could always try the friction method.
Yeah, like kind of like the whole like snap, 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 that kind of thing.
Well, you gotta give me a nature check.
Shall do.
You're not an expert on rocks. You know that,
Okay.
the flint and stuff like that. It's a special type of rock.
Mm-hmm.
Not all rocks make sparks. Um, so you could try over the next while, just trial and error, see if any of them will spark.
Yeah, he's gonna try to find like sparkable rocks for the next while and like taking
Okay,
breaks at the
roll me.
canopy.
Give me a straight up D20 roll.
Shall do.
You do not find any of that spark.
Okay.
But you are now sitting underneath the canopy, escaping the heat. You got a pile of kindling, leaves, and that's it.
Well, that's it.
And a dagger.
And a
And
dagger.
a few rocks.
Hmm.
That was your stomach.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Because doing all of this, you've probably been at, I mean, like at this point, it's around like 12 midday.
Okay. Hmm.
And someone went to bed without eating.
Hmm.
You do see one of the sheep-like things over here.
Hmm.
Um, Give me a perception check.
Shall do.
This one seems to be female.
Okay.
And it seems like she probably just had a birth not too long ago.
Okay. Okay, so Conrad's gonna try to. He has his rocks, right?
Yes.
He's gonna try to kind of go over to the banana tree again, like kind of throw rocks at the bananas, I guess, to knock them down.
Okay, just give me a dex check.
Shall do. Dexterity.
You spend the next 20 minutes throwing rocks at bananas.
Nothing.
You spend the next 20 minutes throwing rocks at bananas.
Okay.
They wiggle, move. That's about it.
Okay. See, that's what I was asking.
The description was what you did. Nothing
Okay.
else happened.
Yeah, so that's why I asked. Like, did nothing else happen?
Yep,
kinda
nothing else. Just
Okay, fair enough.
rocks at bananas.
Uh, now, because I can't cook without a fire. Can't get the bananas. Would I like, cause like of the heat and everything? Like, could I like kind of like leave like a long rock on like on the? No, that wouldn't work either. Kind of would just kind of like go back to the canopy, I guess, and just kind of, I don't know, take a breather.
You do so. This time when you sit down, or when you get back to the shade, the female sheep thingy is kind of sitting in the shade as well.
Okay.
You do see out of the bush a couple of the young ones come out and start nursing on it.
Okay.
Just two of them. It's kind of annoying. They're drinking and eating at the same time. And there you sit,
Yep.
just hearing them suckling.
Does it like get skittish if I ever approach
What?
the sheep?
Not really.
Okay.
You kind of like reach your hand out. Doesn't seem to move. Maybe because it's nursing.
Now, could I like kind of like milk it and like put like a kind of a cup full in my hand and like sip it?
You can certainly try.
I will try to do so.
Give me a nature check.
Shall do.
Because your father trained you to hunt, not to milk.
Mm-hmm.
You grab the nipple, kind of squeeze it,
Mm-hmm.
kind of yank on it, squeeze it. You get like a couple spurts here and there, but you're not understanding what action you need to take to get the milk out.
Fair enough. Yeah. So, Conrad just kind of like, you know, he would attempt it, but like if it doesn't work, then he's not gonna do it.
I mean, you got a little bit in your hand, just a few droplets.
He'll take it at this point.
I mean, it's milk. It's a little weird because it's like kind of warm, but I mean, it's nourishment. Not a lot.
Mm.
Meanwhile, the other little baby sheeps are just suckling away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Conrad's just gonna sit and say, I literally have no idea what to do now.
I mean, you could attempt to do what they're doing.
I kind of did, didn't I?
No, you did it with your hand.
All right, well, Kyle will try to do it their way, I guess.
Okay. You go for it. You're thirsty and hungry. You
Mhm.
bury your pride and you put your head underneath there and you start suckling away. Takes a
Okay.
few, um, but you finally get in the groove of it and you get the nourishment.
Okay.
You're kind of grossed out, a little weirded, but like by
Very
the
much
time it
so.
like hits you and you get that first like gulp down, it's it's worth it.
At this point, anything's worth it.
um,
Okay.
you are able to satiate your thirst and your hunger a little bit,
Okay.
but the other ones seem to have finished, and it seems to be wandering off towards the barn.
Okay.
But you do eye the sheep and go like, maybe a resource for later.
Mm-hmm.
And there you sit. And sit. And sit.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually the sun starts to get lower, or, goes across the sky. How long do you want to wait?
I guess I'll just kind of sit there. Yeah, I got nothing else to do.
Okay, you sit. Sun starts to get towards evening. About 4 or 5, 6. Sun begins to crest over the mountain. Starting to cool off.
Mm-hmm.
7, 8. Sun is set.
Okay.
Starting to cool off.
So quick question, because where I'm at, like, it's a shade, right?
Yes.
Can I kind of go like here? It's kind of like where my back's against the wall, so I can kind of like get a. It's just a sweet, like kind of like basically, what I want to do, I want to find a position where like I can kind of, because like I know it's getting to nighttime, right?
Okay.
I want to get to a position where I can kind of clearly see anything that might approach me.
Okay. There's not a lot of room between the foliage and that wall. If you
Okay.
back up against the wall, there's probably a good foot in front of you until it's just bushes.
Yeah, but basically that's kind of like the area I'm looking for, like if I can find it somewhere.
I will. You get the sense that with this, if something popped out of these bushes, you wouldn't have a lot of opportunity to react.
Okay, but I'm saying like just in general, Conrad's trying to surveil an area for like kind of like I guess a defensible position.
Yeah, not really defensible stuff. There's foliage all around the pond,
Hmm.
and sometimes, as you've seen, just by passing through a section of it, suddenly there's something on the other side.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, it's rough. It's hard to get a grasp of everything. There's not really a defensible position.
Okay. I guess Conrad will just kind of stay where he's at then.
Okay, and you sit. It's starting to get really cold.
Okay.
And you're starting to get kind of tired.
He's gonna do his best to stay awake.
Okay. It's rough. Give me a endurance check.
Shall do.
From the stark heat that you were feeling to it starting to get cold, you're starting to shake a little bit.
Okay.
Continue through the night. 10, 11. It is fucking cold, dude.
Okay. He's gonna attempt to make his way to the barn again.
Okay. You do so. You're now standing in front of the barn.
He's gonna open the door and then he's gonna try to jump through it.
Okay. As soon as you open up the door, you look inside real quick.
Mhm.
You got low light vision. You can only see like a few feet into the barn.
Mm-hmm.
Look around. Perception check.
Shall do.
All clear, man.
Again.
Take a step back, and you gotta jump in, and something grabs you
Of course.
and tosses you up, and you don't make it to the water all the way. Your feet kind of hit it,
Mm-hmm.
and you take a point of damage.
Okay.
And you are now face down in kind of the wettish kind of dirt and sand.
Okay.
That water, a lot warmer than the sand right now.
He's gonna, I guess, like put his feet in, kind of like at least kind of get some sense of warmth.
It's nice.
Mm-hmm. And he's gonna occasionally kind of like, okay, he's gonna get like waist in, right?
Okay.
But he's gonna like peek in like every now and then just to make sure there's nothing
You peek
approaching.
in and you don't see shit.
Okay, never mind. He's gonna exit out.
Okay. You are now wet and cold.
Worse, yeah.
And the shivering starts to kick in again.
Trying to make his way in this bush and get himself warm, I guess.
Okay. You just try your best. You start rubbing your arms, your chest,
Yeah.
trying to stay warm, but every time you get to a new spot, that spot you just rubbed starts to like get cold again,
Mm-hmm.
and you are hungry
Mm-hmm.
and thirsty.
Yeah, again, yeah.
I need you to go ahead as midnight approaches and mark off 2 healing surges,
Okay.
and you continue shivering, shaking, rubbing yourself. You are exhausted.
Question, Damon, real quick.
Okay.
Because like I guess like from something else, my healing surge is at 3. Is it at 3 still?
Did you recover your healing surges from a long rest?
I didn't, so that's what I was asking.
Okay, put your healing surges up to max.
Okay, and then -2.
Then -2.
Okay. Yeah, see, I wasn't sure if that was like some other thing that happened or not, so that's why I asked. Okay.
You are freezing and cold.
Yep.
And you continue like this for the next few hours, and you are exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
Starts to get towards 2, 3 a.m. and you hear something like kind of pushing through the bush you're in.
He's gonna get his dagger ready.
Okay. You see something walking by.
What do I see?
You see one of the little baby sheepy things doing light little bleeding. Going meh, meh. And then you see another one following up behind it. And you see them come over to here,
Mm-hmm.
where you see the mama sheep.
Okay.
And they all kind of lay down next to that bush.
He's gonna try to do the same and basically cuddle against the sheep.
Okay. You do feel the warmth, but it is still cold. Are you gonna try to sleep?
No.
Okay. You get the warmth. You try to stay awake.
Mhm.
I need you to give me a wisdom check just to see if you can will yourself to stay awake because you are tired, hungry, and thirsty.
Shall do.
And you are now feeling this warmth, so okay, you fight the urge to like just curl up with these sheep and go to sleep, and hour passes, 2 hours, and you look around, and you're just starting to see little bits of purplish orange crackle through the sky.
Okay.
Wait another hour, it brightens. It is now morning.
Okay. It's just sighs that he made it through the night.
29 to go.
So then he'll yeah, I know what to do.
Since you've been pondering all evening, give me an intelligence check.
Sure. Eight. Jesus.
Yeah, the hunger and the cold and the thirstiness is just, it's overwhelming you.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go, laying in the morning next to the sheep.
Mm-hmm.
The sun begins to rise, and you feel the warmth starting to push its way in.
Okay.
You are tired, hungry, and thirsty still.
Kyle's gonna try to. I don't even know. He's gonna try to make his way to the fountain and try to get some of that water, I guess.
Okay. As you begin to walk over there,
Mm-hmm.
ooh, you feel a big shift in your stomach.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta use the bathroom. This is not gonna be good.
Okay.
Oh, something's upset in your stomach.
He's gonna try to find somewhere to, go to the bathroom.
You do so,
Okay.
and it is bad. Um, something you had did not sit well with your belly.
Okay.
And even though it's starting to get warmed up, you're starting to shake, and you still feel cool. You can tell that the temperature is rising, but it feels like your body's not warming up.
Okay.
And your skin's starting to get kind of clammy.
Okay.
I need you to roll me another. Need you to roll me another con.
Okay.
Okay. So you finish your business. You feel like shit.
Okay. Kyle's gonna kind of go back to that canopy area that he was at before.
Okay. You walk over to the canopy area.
Mm-hmm.
That's one over. This one to the left.
Okay.
You get over there, sit down, and you watch as the front of the tent opens up.
Do I see anyone there?
Yes. You see Raimi. She's walking out. She's completely naked. You see her stretching, and you watch her jump into the pond.
Raimi, hi.
She's in the pond, dipped
Okay.
underwater.
He's actually gonna try to follow her if he can.
Okay. You go in the pond.
Yes.
Okay. You don't see her. The sun is not, crested yet. There's not a lot of sunlight, and your vision in the water only goes a few feet.
Okay. He's gonna try to, I guess, move because he saw her go like this way, right? Oh, wait.
You saw her jump into the water. You have no idea what direction she went in after that.
Okay. He's gonna go look one space over, see if he can see her, and then if he can't see her, he's gonna move back to the tent.
Just to put it in perspective,
Mm-hmm.
again, this pond is hundreds of feet across.
Mm-hmm.
You can
Okay,
only
then he'll
see
just
from
exit out then.
Okay. I mean, you could definitely try if you want to, but there's a lot of area to search. And
Sounds
you
like
don't.
it's pointless, so
Okay.
he'll kind of go back to the canopy again.
One space over. You sit there, kind of shaking off the water, because it's still, it's the temperature is rising, but it's still cool.
Yeah.
Wind kind of blows across your skin, and the shaking just continues to get worse.
Mm-hmm.
And you sit there for a few moments, and then you watch as watch something crawling out of the water. It is Raimi again, and she's walking towards her tent with a fish in her mouth.
Raimi!
She
He
walks
calls out
and
to her.
closes the flap.
So she didn't react at all to it?
Nope.
Okay. Son of a bitch.
About 20 minutes later, the flap opens slightly, and you watch as part of the fish carcass gets thrown out the tent. Mostly bones,
Mm-hmm.
and part of its head, and fin.
Okay.
And you watch as a little ferret creature skitters out from over here.
Mm-hmm.
I say a ferret creature because you have no fucking clue what this thing is. Kind of
Okay.
looks like a ferret, and it kind of goes over there and starts just nibbling on the fish carcass.
Okay. Hmm. Say it's funny, Dan, because I'm kind of lost here because, like, I know I can't like eat the food without the fire or anything like that, so it's kind of,
I
yeah.
mean, you can certainly try.
Well, that's how you get sick. Kara's already sick apparently.
I mean, you don't know what made you sick.
Yeah.
Your stomach is empty.
Yeah.
Especially after using that bathroom, you are an E man. Your tank is on empty.
All right, so what he's gonna do, he's gonna kind of shoot the ferret away if he can.
Okay, you run over and you shoot away. It kind of hisses at you a little bit, but kind of rears up, then notices how big you are and just skitters back in the bush with yanking a piece of it off.
He's gonna take the fish carcass, right?
Okay.
Hold it up and take it with him into the pond, and just kind of sit there and wait for like the, I guess, blood to attract something. Kind of like chumming.
Blood.
Okay, fair enough.
But you do so,
Okay.
and you sit in the water with the carcass, and one of the sea dogs kind of comes up towards you.
Kara tries to shoot away.
You do so. Kind of skitters away. And you sit, and you wait. At this point, waiting in the water is starting to become a chore.
Okay.
Right now, I mean, you can continue to wait, but your strength is you're losing it.
Okay, he's gonna get out of the water then.
Okay. You have fish carcass, and you are wet.
Yep.
Give me another intelligence check.
Sure. Doesn't matter. I'm on a low roll anyway. Called it.
Okay. Raimi took that fish in her tent. You
Mm-hmm.
didn't smell any cooking stuff.
Mm-hmm. That male sheep was like over here, right?
Yes.
Guys,
Well,
will try
last
to go.
time you saw it.
Guys, will try to go to that area then.
Okay. Give me your perception check.
Yep. God damn it.
You do not see it.
Uh.
You know the animals do move around a lot during the day,
Yeah.
and you're pretty sure that they probably move during the night too.
Mm-hmm.
You still have the fish carcass in your hand.
Oh, dude isn't do. He's gonna try to scrounge whatever's left of it, I guess.
Okay. You do so.
Mm-hmm.
And surprisingly, because you dipped it back in the water, there's kind of like a brackish flavor to it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you start picking through it. There's not a lot of like big meat. There's an
Yeah.
eyeball left.
He's gonna go for it.
Okay, you do so. It's squishy. It kind of pops a little bit, but
Mm.
honestly, you're so fucking famished, you just start eating through it.
Yep.
You even get to the point like as you get to kind of towards like the any fleshy bits, you consume. You even gotta like stop yourself from like swallowing the bone a couple of times, but you pick it clean.
Okay. Hmm. Guys, gonna just like lean the bone over and just kind of on the side of the pool. It's just toss it in, basically.
Okay. Give me a nature check, for the love
Sure.
of God. Hopefully, because I just realized that this may have come up in your past. Okay. You think about it after a few moments. You remember a long time ago when you're still a child. You're in a kind of a delirious, almost near state. You're
Mm-hmm.
you're exhausted. You're tired, so your mind's just kind of wandering in between
Mm-hmm.
the little bits of like, oh God, I'm hungry. Oh God, I need to survive. And you just kind of think back to a simple time before all the craziness happened at your village, when your father used to take you out on hunting trips and fishing trips. You remember the fishing trips. Oh, there was that one thing that your dad used to do all the time that used to gross you up. He would cut pieces of the fish that were freshly cut, caught, and just eat it.
Okay.
You used to say it was gross, but your father used to always say, well, when you're out here hunting for hours, sometimes you need a little nourishment.
So I don't get it. Like, so cut up like pieces of fish and eat it.
Fresh fish,
Mm-hmm.
freshly caught and killed fish, doesn't have a lot of bacteria and stuff on it.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I didn't get that
Sushi,
part.
man. Sushi. Fish is something that you don't always have to cook as long as it's fresh.
Mm-hmm. Well, to be fair, to my credit, I have been trying. It's just for some reason not attracting it.
Well, I mean, again, you got that little bit.
Yeah. Oh.
But daylight soon starts to come through.
Okay.
And around this time, you see Raimi leaving her tent,
Mm-hmm.
this time fully dressed, and she's heading around. She starts heading out this way.
He's just gonna track her, but he's not gonna say anything at this point.
Okay. How far do you try to follow her?
Uh, probably to here, I guess.
No, I meant how far behind.
Uh, 10 feet, 15 feet, maybe.
Okay, you do so. and she acts like you're not even there.
Mhm.
And she continues up, goes up towards the north side of the pond. Um, and you track her through one of the bushes, and you look out the other side, and she is on top of the large reptilian gorilla, and you see it on its back, arms splayed out in a very submissive pose. As
Mhm.
she's kind of standing over it with one hand on its chest, just kind of staring at it.
Okay.
And then she kind of ruffles up the hair on the side of it, and it's like, and kind of rolls over, and you see them kind of like wrestle for a little bit.
Mhm.
This goes on for a little bit before she kind of pushes it off, and it kind of like backs away, kind of submissive, and she starts walking off again.
Okay.
She starts heading over here.
Okay.
Do you continue to follow her?
Not through that area. No, he's actually gonna kind of circle around.
Okay. Okay, you have two choices. You could follow her direct route or circle around, which would lead you towards the giant reptilian gorilla thingy.
I thought that was a sort of reptilian thingy.
Yes. When she basically cut like directly across here, when
Mhm.
she pushed it off and it kind of like backed up submissive, it went this way.
Oh, okay. So I didn't get that. So yeah, Kara's gonna follow her then.
Okay. As soon as you leave that bush,
Mhm.
that reptilian gorilla looks at you and it kind of like and starts pounding its chest a little bit.
Again, like kind of make his way, but like
Kinda,
keeping an eye out of it.
you like kind of
Yeah.
dash into the next thing.
Yep.
Okay. You do so, and you can hear it still kind of throwing some sand around and like kind of beating its chest, kind of making like a low.
Mhm.
But you quickly follow, and you kind of peer through the bush, and you see Raimi again, kind of nuzzling up against this time the tiger,
Okay.
and you see the tiger, on all fours, kind of nuzzling into her. Their heads are kind of meeting and rubbing against each other.
Mhm.
And then it kind of plops to its side and she starts rubbing its belly, scritching behind its ears and stuff like that. And you can just hear this purring coming from it.
Mhm.
And she kind of like wrestles around with it, pets it, plays with it. It starts licking her and stuff like that.
Mhm.
You even do see her. You see her lick it a couple times.
Mhm.
It's almost a beautiful sight to see how in tune with these creatures she is.
Okay.
Um, it's insane the way she moves, the way she acts. Like you've mostly only seen her in the palace setting when she's just kind of standing there being
Mhm.
quiet. But there's something to be said about her and her setting.
Mhm.
She's definitely more beast than person,
Okay.
and her sharp claws and teeth really kind of add to it.
Mhm.
And she scrooches it for a while, and then continues around.
Mhm.
And she goes back to her tent, opens up the flap, and goes inside.
Okay. Hmm.
The sun is
Hmm.
now up.
Okay.
It's starting to get warm,
Yeah.
and you're thirsty. Hunger slightly sated,
Mhm.
but you still kind of have that like empty kind of pit feeling from probably the morning's incident.
Yeah. Hmm.
are now on day 2.
Yep.
And we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break.
Okay.
Sit and ponder. So Amy, go ahead and put up the wait screen for us. Amy. Amy!
She there?
She's there.
Okay. I will be right back.
It's done. Oh, good. Oh. Yeah, it was already done.
Okay. Well, you weren't saying anything.
Yeah, because I kept myself muted.
Yeah, but you know what I'm calling you. I'm calling you. I hope you're enjoying this.
I am shouting at the screen already.
I know.
Oh, bless him.
Yeah. Oh, you think this is funny? Wait till it's your turn.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick and grab me something to drink since I'm talking a lot more than a normal session, and I realize we may have to take a break next Sunday because I realize now that by the end of this week my voice may be shot.
yeah,
But I
you
will be back.
okay. Be back.
So far, this is turning into the shittiest Bears Grylls episode ever.
God, I've just been saying, I've been shouting at the screen for ages. It's like, I really wish I could help.
Yeah, this sucks. Worst part is all my low rolls. Like I'm like anything that I can like do to start a fire. Nope. Like that shit. Jeez. Can't go in the shelter. Can't do anything, dude.
Well, I mean, the analogy you just used is actually the biggest clue of what to do.
I guess, but like every attempt I've done that is just failing left and right.
Hey man, I've been trying. I've been giving you so many fucking free checks.
I've noticed.
Like I said, low rolls, man. Sucks.
Well, I was hoping that you yourself would be able to figure some of this out.
I'm trying.
Some of it you're overthinking.
What?
A lot. I can't say. I'm sorry. We're still in the middle of this.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying, Conrad. I have, in my head, I've come up with at least 5 different ideas, and I can't say anything because I'd be camera kill today.
Yeah. Either way,
So-
shittiest episode so far.
Aww.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It'll get
If
better.
it helps, I'm rooting for you.
You
I
got,
really am.
you got blessings from Raven Queen. Don't forget that.
Again, not working out well.
I mean, she might see you soon. I don't know.
Yeah, apparently.
Let me know when you're ready to continue, Conrad.
I'm having a cigarette right now.
Yeah, I figured you'd need one.
Yep.
Don't worry, Conrad. Everyone else is gonna be just as...
Miserable.
Yep. Well, maybe. I don't know. Because with all my stuff, there's stuff to figure out. But, you know, if you figure the stuff out, yay.
Easier said than done.
Aw.
Like I said, you know, I'll be wondering if I can actually establish some of the stuff, but I can't.
Can there be a phone a friend option?
Like, see, the part of it is, like, the fire thing is, like, the most helpful thing, because, like, you can boil water and whatnot, but, like, that's not helping, because I can't make a fire.
I mean, you also didn't try any other method.
Oh, like you said, like, there's, like, no supplies to do so. Like, even, like, you know, the stuff like straining water, that kind of thing, I can't do that.
Hey, Amy.
Yeah?
Besides using flint, what's another way you can start a fire?
Besides using flint, stick and rock. You've also got the whole magnifying thing if you can find some, like, I don't know, a piece of glass from a window or something.
Yeah, like,
If you
oh,
got
I'm
any
thinking about,
magical
like, that.
powers and stuff, you could use that.
Yeah, only if someone had fire at their disposal.
Well, I don't. Well, I don't have my ring.
Look at your power card.
Alright, 1 minute. Well, actually, wait, I gotta enter it first. All right, I'm back.
There's something we've discussed multiple times of what it does.
Talk about the Black Wrath of Hell.
Yes.
Eh,
Pat, pat. Pat, 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 pat.
whatever.
We've always said that it manifests in a black flame.
Mm,
Doesn't deal fire damage, no. But you could always try it.
mm. Got nothing else better to do.
Are you
All
ready
right.
to continue?
Yep.
Okay. There you go. I mute.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're sitting there,
Yep.
and you do notice that there are a few things that pick at the bones that you tossed in there.
Okay. Conrad's gonna try to, I guess.
They are kind of by the surface right now.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, if he can, he's gonna try to nab one.
How?
That's what I'm trying to think of. Like,
'Cause they're a good like 10, 15 feet off.
10, 15 feet off. Okay, so he's gonna try to wade in the pool and do so.
As soon as you get into the water, they skitter off.
Damn it. Are there any like because you said like there's trees and whatnot. Is there anything like that might like be like kind of a young tree that could kind of like be cut down and like whittled down to like a spear kind of thing?
I mean, you can certainly look around and try.
Let's hope there be not a low roll again. Somewhat.
You remember seeing a few over here.
Oh, great. Try to. Oh, God damn it. That's like the predator area. Hmm.
I will, just because your character would know this.
Mm-hmm.
You have a knife, and you've thrown knives before. You're pretty handy with it.
Oh yeah, I know. It's just if I lose it, I lose it. Hmm. I thought I've been using it so far, so that's also the fact. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, at the moment I got nothing. Like I guess kind of try to look for some easy prey.
Okay. I mean, there are the sheep.
Yeah, I guess. Is there anything? Have I found any of them?
Yeah, there's a few of them. There's the mother and the young ones that you see.
Okay.
I
Hmm.
will say, because of your survival background, fish is one thing. Meat like that, there's a lot of bacteria in it.
See, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. Problem with the whole fish thing is that like I can't get to the fish. Hmm. Okay, is there any like smaller prey, like rats or anything like that? Like you said, there's a ferret once.
Yeah.
Anything like that?
I mean, there was the ferret. You don't know where it went.
Yeah, I was gonna say the comments gonna look around for the small prey like that.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Yeah.
Okay. You find it south of her tent. Hear it skittering around in the bush.
All right. As soon as Conrad got a line of sight on it, he's gonna try to throw his dagger at it.
Okay. You sit and you wait. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You get quiet. You just wait.
Mm-hmm.
And you see it start to skitter off the bush. Go ahead and make the attack.
Okay. What would that be? In the
Just
powers?
do a dex check.
Shall do.
Okay, you nail it.
Okay.
It was a good 20 feet away, and yeah, you nailed it directly. Pierced
Okay.
right through it.
So he's gonna take it, and he's gonna try to like for lack of a better word, like make chum out of it, and then he's gonna like try to fish like with the chum of it.
Okay. How so?
So what he's gonna do is like like cut off pieces of it, like the tail or whatnot, right?
Okay.
He'll toss that in, see if anything comes in, right? Like just like the blood, like in the water and whatnot, right?
Okay.
And if he sees something, he's gonna try to throw his dagger at it.
Okay. You throw the chum in the water.
Mm-hmm.
You sit and you wait. And you notice that there's a few things going at it.
Okay. And he's gonna try to throw his dagger at one of the things.
Okay. I need you to roll me a d20, just a flat d20 first, and then make the attack.
Sure.
Okay.
And dex check, right?
Okay. It hits something.
And he's gonna go in the water and try to find it.
Okay. Still slightly, splishing back and forth is one of those toothy mawfish.
Okay.
Pretty sizable.
Okay. Is that where the dagger landed?
Yeah, it's in it.
Okay.
It's having trouble trying to move because where you hit it, it's kind of like fucking up its,
Like fin or whatnot?
Yeah.
So what Conrad's gonna do is go devil form, and he's gonna try to like basically kill this thing by like basically repeatedly like stabbing it with the dagger.
Okay. You pissed off, hungry, you tap into your infernal bloodline. You instinctively and uncontrollably let out a roar almost.
Mm-hmm.
Because you see it, you see your prey in front of you, you're hungry, you're tired, you're thirsty, and you just kind of let your instincts kick over for a second and you dive in there.
Mm-hmm.
And you wrestle with this fish. It's pretty sizable. A lot of the rest of them kind of like move away.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a good moment or two to like get purchase on the dagger, grab the fish, and you just stab once, twice, and it goes limp. Still some death twitches every once in a while, but it seems to be dead.
All right. Now he's gonna pull it out, right?
Tired and exhausted, you pull this fish. Mind you, this fish is probably a good 60, 70 pounds.
Oh wow. Okay.
You pull it up toward the shore, tired, exhausted. You don't even like climb out.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of put your chest against the edge of the pond. You throw the fish up, and you're just kind of sitting there for a moment, just exhausted, panting. And you go to look up, and you see Raimi standing in front of you.
Ugh, hi.
She's just kind of staring at you.
He just tries his best to get up.
You do so, and you see her smile. Picks up, leans down, grabs the dagger,
Mm-hmm.
pulls it out of the fish, and you see her smile, and she throws it that way,
Which way?
this way.
Okay. So she throws the fish that way.
No, the dagger. She pulls the dagger out and just chucks it, and almost like an arrow, you see it fly that way. And still smiling at you, she turns and walks back into her tent.
Motherfucker, he says. Okay. So what he's gonna do now is because like you said, like when he's in devil form, like his hands are kind of like clawed-ish, right?
Yeah.
He's not even like bothering to like lug the fish around and whatnot. Like he's just gonna just tear into this thing.
You do so.
Mhm.
With gnarled teeth and clawed hands, you dig into this fish
Mhm.
and try to eat it all.
Try to eat as much as he can. He's probably starving at this point.
You do, and it is fulfilling.
Okay.
You probably ate a good maybe like pound of meat.
Mhm.
Try to avoid the organs and stuff like that, just because you know the bad that can bring. Try
Yeah.
not popping them, especially like the bladder and stuff like that, and kidneys, all that stuff. But you have a meal.
He's kind of like resting with all the blood on his face, I assume, and like whatnot.
Fish doesn't have a lot of blood.
Fair enough. Hmm.
And you look up, and there's a few of the elves standing right around here.
Okay.
They're not walking up. You think that they've been watching this whole thing happen.
Mhm.
They're just kind of like whispering to each other.
Okay. What he's gonna do now is so like if there's any like I assume like there's like the spine and whatnot, right? He's gonna try to rip that out, right?
Okay, it breaks in half.
Yeah. Basically, he's gonna try to like at the very least just kind of like because I'm like fish bones like very like flimsy, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Can't be like scrimshaw then. Uh,
Fish bones bend and break very easily.
yeah, very easily, yeah. What he's gonna try to do is like if anything like kind of like take what's kind of like a hearty portion of it, right?
Okay.
But like something that could be like portable, like I guess.
Okay.
And whatever's left, he's gonna just toss in the water.
Okay. I will give this one for you for free.
Hmm.
Fresh killed fish. Okay. If you put it in your pocket for a while, might not be the best bet.
Oh yeah, no, I don't even have
You
pockets
also
at
don't
this
have
point.
a pocket. Yes, but
Yeah, yeah, that's not what I'm planning on doing with that. Anyway,
but you have a portion of fish and stuff to the side. Just
yep.
gonna sit in the sand.
And what he's gonna do is
I will remind you, she threw your dagger.
I know, yeah, because like she threw all the way over there. That's the thing. Like
Yeah.
he's gonna just take that portion with the fish and he's gonna head over that way.
You do so.
Do I see my dagger anywhere?
Yes.
All right.
Actually,
Where
give
is
me a
it?
perception check.
Okay, yeah.
I was being a little too nice for you. Okay, yep, you see it. It's on the tree with the weird banana-looking things.
Now, is it up in the tree or can you easily reach it?
Oh, it's up in the tree, and at the bottom of the tree, you see a couple of them that have been cut. They are now on the ground.
Okay. He's gonna take the bananas.
Okay.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, because it's like all the way up at the tree, right? The knife.
Yeah.
Okay.
About 25 feet up there.
Yeah,
And by this point, your devil form has worn off.
I'd imagine so. Yeah. Which also means Black Wrath of Hell's gone too, so that's shit.
So you have the banana.
Um. Okay, no, never mind. Hmm. All right, he's gonna try to take all that stuff that he has now and bring it to that one canopy area, right?
Okay.
Where he had to gather the kindling.
Okay.
And what he's gonna try to do is kind of do the stick method and just try to, he's gonna literally just break off sticks and try to make a fire that way.
Okay. Give me a nature check.
Shall do.
Okay. It's tiring. It takes you a while, but you do eventually, after like a good almost 45 minutes of going at it,
Mm-hmm.
get the smoldering.
He's gonna, very tenderly, like, try to get it started and like maybe like again like just snap off branches to try to feed it.
You do so. You have a small kindling fire.
And what he's gonna try to do now is like try to like very essentially ration the what's called fish.
Okay. Are you trying to like steam it or something?
Like like how rations like they're dried out so at the point where like it's like not gonna go bad.
Sure. I will give you a freebie on this one. You take one of the wet leaves around it.
Mm-hmm.
You fashion a rock. You put it, wrap it up in the leaf, and you kind of put it next to the rock, next to the fire, and you slowly let it kind of dry out.
Yeah. Now,
Probably gonna take a while.
yeah, I would imagine so because yeah, I imagine that's something that's gonna be going for a while.
Yeah.
In the meantime, hmm. The water's the biggest thing. I'm just trying to think of ways to get it.
You also have the banana.
Yeah.
Now seeing it closer, it looks a little bit different than a banana.
Hmm.
It seems a little bit more fatter.
Yeah. Because like fruit like has like water and stuff like that, right? Like generally speaking,
I mean, depending.
he's gonna try to like take a bite of the banana, like one of them, because I assume it's like a bushel.
Yeah.
He's gonna try eating one of them.
Okay. You go to grab the top, and you go to peel it back, and liquid starts to pour out the top of it.
He's gonna try to lick it, like just say take a what's called a fingerful of it.
Okay. It's not bad.
All right, he's gonna try to drink it then after
Basically
that point.
banana coconut mixed.
Yeah.
You drink it down, and it is fucking thirst quenching.
Mm-hmm.
And within the side, there's almost like banana meat. And there's no other way to put it.
Okay.
You know, the fleshy bits. There's still some of
Yeah.
that in there as well. But the center of these fruits seem to be a core of liquid.
Gotcha.
Give me an insight.
Shall do.
You're not sure, but maybe Raimi was probably rewarding you for your first kill.
Hmm.
But now you have food and water.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of the day goes by. You
Uh,
have. Go ahead.
So one other thing I was gonna try to do, it's gonna be kind of hard to do, but I'm not even sure if I can do it, especially without a dagger now. Like how in the shows, like sometimes like they'll do like kind of like
You're gonna need your dagger.
yeah, see, that's what I was thinking.
could always attempt to climb up and get it. It's just
Yeah.
a tree. You've climbed those before.
Why not? He's gonna try it.
Give me an athletics check.
Okay. Fuck.
You scrape your knees and your feet and your hands a little bit trying to climb this tree, but you are able to climb up.
Takes his dagger.
It's a little rough. She threw it pretty fucking good, and you're
Mhm.
honestly slightly impressed. This distance throwing a dagger seems unnatural,
Mm-hmm.
and it was embedded a couple inches into the tree.
Okay.
But now you're at the top of the tree with your dagger in hand.
Is there any more of those banana things?
There's a couple that you could probably reach for and grab.
Yeah. So he's gonna try to grab like he's gonna try to grab one more, but like he's gonna leave the rest because like fruit doesn't like yeah.
You grabbed the most ripe one.
Yeah.
Leaving the little less than ripe ones for later.
Exactly. Yeah.
You drop it down. You climb down. And now you have another bushel.
And he's gonna head back to his little campsite thing.
Okay.
And now he's gonna try to like I think the word is like lean to.
Um, you have like a shitty little one.
Mm-hmm.
You remember back to a certain training, and your father taught you how to make, little forest hovels.
Yeah.
It's nothing too fancy, but
Mm-hmm.
good thing is there's a lot of big leafy green stuff around here.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
You're able to fill in the gaps pretty easily with it. And if there was a strong like wind or rain going through here, it would probably get fucked up. But look,
Probably. Yeah.
you're there in their oasis, which is surrounded by mountains, so the wind is pretty soft around here. And yes, the elven ladies, the whole time while you're doing this, are just watching.
Hmm.
There's two attendees, like bringing them drinks and stuff like that. A couple of them now have chairs.
Oh God. It literally has turned into a girls' show, hasn't it?
Kind of.
Oh God. So he's just trying to. All right.
And towards the afternoon, as you're because this takes a couple hours.
Oh yeah. I was about to say yeah.
Something like that. Towards the afternoon, you actually see the Jade Empress join these ladies,
Oh God.
and you also see Crevasse. It looks like they are having like an afternoon tea party while watching you.
Of course.
Yep. One of the times you look over and Crevasse winks at you, or your shoes blinking. You're not quite sure.
Is it like the one blink one eye and the one blink with the other or something like that?
Well, she does it with her main eye.
Okay, yeah. Oh, it was crevasse. Sorry, I thought you were talking about
Crevasse,
the.
yes, beholder. She only has one eye.
Yeah, sorry, I thought you meant the mind flare dude. That was my bad.
No.
Yeah. Uh, he just sort of waves like while he's working, I guess.
You do so. But you have a little lean-to.
Mm-hmm.
You have some meat. You have a source of hydration.
Mm-hmm.
You continue through the day, get towards evening. You are tired. You have full belly. Well, full in comparison to, the previous day.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel the temperature begin to drop again, but with the lean-to, you kind of made it kind of compact, so it's, keeping in heat a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Nighttime has arrived. Do you fall asleep?
So what he's gonna do is like before he falls asleep, he's gonna kind of like gather like his supplies, and whatnot, right?
Okay.
And like kind of like huddle around it, so like like it has like something that would have to like approach him first, right?
Basically, you're gonna use your body to cover it because
Essentially,
might die.
yeah.
Okay, you do so.
And he's just gonna like clutch a dagger and just try to sleep.
You do so. Sleep finds you, and it is restful. Morning time comes around. You got a little bit of a not an upset stomach, but you really gotta use the bathroom.
Mhm.
because coconut water does something to your dietary. But it's not as bad as the first day. You think you put two and two together. You get the sense that it may have been that fountain water.
Okay.
But the next day comes through. You repeat the process. You're able to get more fish. You're able
Mhm.
to get more bananas. Next day comes by without a hitch.
Okay.
This process lasts a week
Okay.
until one morning you got to wake up, kind of scratch your face. You haven't had time to shave. Starting to get like a little bit of facial hair going on. And you gotta stretch, lean over, crack a banana, fucking suck it down, then starts, like scraping out all the innard stuff. And you gotta poke your head out of your lean-to, and there's Raimi staring at you.
Hello again. He sighs.
She kind of gestures to follow her.
He gets up, just has his dagger and follows.
Okay. Um, she brings you up over towards here.
Okay.
You get over there and you see a couple of almost like bamboo shoot looking things,
Mhm.
and each one has like a gourd on top of it.
Okay.
And she she points at where you're standing,
Mhm.
and looks at you, and it's like a good 100 or so feet off.
Mhm.
And she points to where you're standing, and she does like the stop motion.
Okay.
And then she takes her hand in almost like a knife-like position,
Mhm.
and she brings it up to your head, and she like kind of does light chop to the side of your head, and points towards the gourds.
Okay. So like, kind of like like just so I'm picturing it, she's kind of like motioning me to throw the dagger at the door, sort of like, or cut him down.
I mean, all she did is point at you where you're standing,
Mhm.
stop, and then she brings her hand in a knife position and kind of like bumps it against the side of your head, and
Mhm.
she has like her hand almost horizontal, like almost she was trying to cut your head in half.
Okay. Hmm. And you said the gourds are like a good 100 feet up.
Yeah,
Okay.
I will say this: you can't throw a dagger that far.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't think I can. Yeah. I don't think I could throw this that far. He says.
She grabs the dagger and tosses it over her shoulder. She just lightly tosses it,
Okay.
and then she does the chopping motion to your head again.
Hmm. Can I, for lack of a better word, use an insight to try to understand what she's meaning?
This is more intelligence.
All right, I will try that.
Okay. Um, I mean, she tossed your dagger aside. Maybe she doesn't want you to use the dagger.
Okay.
I mean, dagger isn't your choice weapon. Raimi would know that.
Hmm. Well, I would need a bow to do that. He says.
And she looks at all the trees and stuff.
It's like, okay, give me a moment, and he goes to pick up the dagger, and he's gonna try to scrounge
Give
up the
me,
resources to, make
just
one.
give me a dungeoneering check.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'm giving you advantage on this because okay. Um, your father taught you long ago, and you've had a homebrew and like make some stuff
hmm
yourself.
Yeah.
Spend the next couple hours fashioning yourself a okay bow.
hmm
You use a little bit of like fresh green plant fiber stuff to kind of like weave it, tie it to make like a bowstring. It's not the best, but it'll do. You pull back on it. It's taut. It's secured. You spend another hour or so finding some stones. You use your daggers to kind of chip it and kind of like chip away at it to kind of make arrowheads.
Mm-hmm.
And after about 4 or 5 hours, you have yourself a pretty okay bow. Not the
Okay.
best. It's a little lopsided, but after a couple practice shots, you might be able to get the hang of it.
Okay. He returns to the spot then.
Okay. You go back to the spot and you don't see her.
Mm-hmm.
And you're kind of like, oh shit, she left. And then the sand kind of stirs behind you. You look around, and apparently she was up on the roof and just dropped down.
There you are. All right. He just kind of like does a low, like breath as he tries to focus on the gourd,
Okay.
and he tries to take a shot.
Okay. You take your shot. Go ahead and take it.
What would that be in this case?
Just go ahead and roll your basic bow attack.
So, like an at will, or like just a regular range attack?
Whichever one. They're your powers.
Okay, see, that's what I was asking. Yeah. Fuck, that was actually wow. That's natural 2, by the way, for the audience.
Yeah. And it's minus some proficiency because it's not the same type of bow.
Yeah.
Luckily it's not a difficult target.
Mhm.
You hit it,
Mhm.
and she smacks you in the back of your head.
Ow.
And then she brings up her hand in the knife shape, and she brings it up to the side of your head again. And then she walks over, pulls the arrow out of the gourd,
Mhm.
and then sharp and sternly just hands it back to you.
Hmm. Okay, so would it be intelligence check to see that like she might want me to graze it? I guess.
I mean, a graze is a graze. She's chopping.
Okay. Huh.
You spend the next 10, 15, 20 minutes trying to ponder and translate, and you just hear a sigh. And she
Mhm.
pushes you off the spot,
Okay.
and she pulls out her kukri.
Okay.
You know what a kukri is, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This one is not like Reyna's. This one's more bent,
Mhm.
and she reels back and throws it. She doesn't throw it straight though. She throws it over here, and you're
Okay.
like, huh? And then once it gets to about here, it starts curving and goes towards the gourd. And you
Okay.
watch as it cuts the gourd in half.
Huh.
Which again, super impressive. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
her handling of this weapon is like, whew. It's like some wanted shit.
Yeah. That's very impressive. I didn't know that was possible. Hmm.
There's actually a funny video I could show you about people doing this.
Hmm.
And then she looks back towards you, points at the gourd next to it, and then she chops the side of your head again.
Okay. Hmm. Is there wind at all by chance?
No. It's the
Okay.
Neuroasis. There's light breezes. That's about
Light
it.
breeze, yeah. Yeah, because
Give me an intelligence check.
okay.
You don't think she's trying to tell you to bend your arrows.
Okay.
Something about the chop and cutting the gourd in half.
Chop and cut the gourd in half. Hmm. Hmm.
feel a serious pain in your side, a
Uh-huh.
sharp pain, and you get pushed into the water.
Ah, fuck.
You took 5 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and make sure to heal up because you've had long rests.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I'll have to fix that in a second.
You're still at -1 on the healing surges just because, not a whole proper diet and you're still getting used to it.
Yeah. Okay. So he just kind of gets up. I'm just not sure how to do that with an arrow.
And she picks up the bow, takes 3 of your arrows, and launches them in super fast, quick succession.
Okay.
And by the time the third one hits, the gourd top kind of falls off.
Huh. So not so much slicing with an arrow, but more piercing enough that it would slice. It'd be essentially a slice.
Kind of.
Well, no, Conrad actually says it out loud.
And she stands there and holds the bow out towards you.
Okay, I'll try that. So you said try that. I do have like something like do that. I'm trying. Like, can I do like twin strike twice essentially?
Yeah, you can try that.
Yeah.
She goes, grabs your arrows,
Mhm.
and you twin strike.
Yeah.
Boom, boom. You hit the gourd. You can quickly grab the next one. Boom, boom. All the arrows stick in the gourd, but it doesn't split.
Hmm.
Something about the speed of it, maybe. You just
Okay.
don't shoot them fast enough.
Huh. Conrad, so when I saw her, did she notch 3 arrows at once, or was it just one at a time, which is extremely
She
fast?
grabbed all 3 at once, but launched each one individually, but it was very fast.
Okay, so like what he's gonna try to do this time is this, okay? Kind of like have 3 arrows, right, in his hand,
Okay.
but like kind of like like have like all 3 in his hand, but like pull it back, let it go with one, hold the 2 in his like other like index finger while he's like going, and, like just kind of like chain gun it if anything, like if you understand what I'm saying.
First one flies, hit the gourd. The other 2 miss. You
Okay.
are not to firing like this.
Okay.
And you feel a pat on your head, and you turn around and she's walking away.
I'll keep trying, he says.
Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna be like kind of trying while taking breaks and whatnot. Obviously getting the necessities.
For the first day, I want you to roll me just a straight dex.
Shall do.
Okay. Now roll me an intelligence.
Shall do.
Okay. First day goes by, no success.
Okay.
You feel defeated. You go back to your little lean-in. You spend a little time fishing.
Mhm.
And you eat and you rest.
Mhm.
Next day, you walk back over. You don't see Raimi at all,
Mhm.
and there are fresh gourds up there.
Okay.
And give me a dex and intelligence check.
Okay. Yeah, I tried. Oh, there we go. Wait, did I roll it?
Yep.
Okay, it was 9. There we go.
You do a little bit better today, but you're still not able to replicate it.
Okay.
Okay. Same thing. Go to sleep. Wake up the next day. Go ahead and give me another check.
Okay. By the way, like in his off time, if I would say this, like if this is okay,
Yeah, sure.
like what Conrad is trying to do is like he's gonna try to figure out like kind of like the pull part of it, like to see if he can kind of like like himself, like try to see if he can
Yeah,
just
in the
kind of mimic that
downtime,
movement.
you're just
Yeah,
like waiting for your fish to dry and stuff like that to get your extra stuff.
yeah, yeah. Okay,
You kind of practice the motion and stuff like that. I'm
exactly. Yeah,
including all of that in your daily check.
sound good. Okay, so Dex, Intelligence. Oh wow.
On the third day, towards the end of the day, you hear giggling behind you.
Looks
You
fine.
and it's a few of the elven women laughing as this naked tiefling man is just shooting a shitty bow at some gourds. And it aggravates you
Yeah.
because you're trying. You're
Mhm.
tired, you're hungry. The physical work that it takes for you to hunt these fish, gather the bananas, all this stuff, like it's you're tired. Like
Mhm.
you haven't bathed in, a week and a half.
Mhm.
It sucks. And you go grab the arrows and you hear them still giggling. And something gets to you, and you go to pick up the bow, and you breathe, calm down, just like your father used to tell you.
Mhm.
That goddamn giggling. And you look back at them, and they're just kind of giggling at you, and something sparks in you, and instinctively you let out a growl, and you use your devil transformation.
She was just about to say that. Yeah.
And you let the bows fly, or the arrows fly out of anger. You don't even think about it. You just let them go. And you're kind of pissed off, and you go to turn around, and kind of like when you turn around kind of fiercely, it kind of startles them, and they just kind of walk away.
Mhm.
Like, shit, I could probably go grab those arrows and try again.
Mhm.
And you turn around to go grab the arrows, and you see a gourd in half.
He's kind of like just like one second. Sorry, I had a cough. Anyway, so he's kind of like like has a and he's like cheers like kind of a primal yell of like triumphant.
Yeah, you drop to your knees, arms outstretched towards the gods, and you just let out a roar.
Yeah.
And you finish the day. You're not quite able to replicate what you did,
Okay.
but your quick succession arrows are getting better and better and better.
Okay.
So you end that day feeling accomplished, and you even take the gourd back to your little lean-in,
Mhm.
and you scrape the inside of it. It's kind of like almost like a pumpkin
Mhm.
kind of flavor, almost like a pumpkin squash.
Okay.
Not bad. It's a different flavor. You kind of use it, a little bit of banana juice and the fish, and you kind of make a weird stew
Mhm.
out of like a shitty like weird um coconut shell that you find.
Yeah.
Burns the shit out of the coconut, but you are able to make like a weird fish stew. It's weird. Its taste is all over the place, but it's not bad.
Okay.
You go to sleep pretty well
Uh,
rested.
one thing before just cause like that he kind of like felt the accomplishment of like the cutting the gourd in half, right? Once he's done with the stew, because I assume like the actual gourd itself, like the bottom half, like the shell of it, is still like there.
Yeah.
He's gonna kind of like place it on the outside of his lean-to, just kind of like facing towards like Remy's tent,
Okay.
and then he'll go to sleep.
You do so. You wake up the next day and you continue your training again. Um, Still get making progress. Go to
And
sleep.
what he's
Go,
sorry,
go ahead.
another thing he's gonna try to do is like he's gonna try to tap into that kind of still anger if he can.
Okay. It actually makes it worse.
Okay.
Um, because it's kind of raw strength. You get the
Mhm.
sense that it was probably just instinct of not thinking about it and just, letting the muscle memory flow.
Okay. He'll keep that in mind.
I'll give you that because you're fucking awesome at 20. And the next day, making progress, still getting better. It's went from doop 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 to doop 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 doop. So you're almost there.
Mhm.
Um, and this goes on for the next few days And at the end of the week, you're able to do that to every single one of the gourds.
Nice.
Not one after the other, but you do one, you rest a little bit, you do another one, and yeah,
So he's able to do it like somewhat regularly, but not like all the time, kind of.
yeah. It
Gotcha.
still requires a lot of focus,
Yeah.
and everything, but you feel accomplished. This
Mhm.
is something that honestly, 2 weeks ago you're like splitting a gourd with arrows, like, ooh, it's rough, but now
Yeah.
you're able to do it. And at the end of the day, when you're, kind of grabbing up your cut open gourds, you're like, fuck yeah, now I got some more food. You
Mhm.
turn around with an armful of gourds, and there's Raimi.
He'll say, "I did it." He kind of has a smile on his face.
She gestures you to follow her.
Okay. He's just like, at what point, like, he's gonna try to like kind of set it down by his camp, and then like kind of rush to follow her.
You do so, and you watch as she goes towards her tent.
Okay. Follows in.
Okay. You enter in her tent, and she is sitting there naked.
Okay.
Next to her, about a foot away, you see this massive beast.
Okay.
The front of it looks like a tiger.
Okay.
The back of it kind of looks like a bull.
Okay.
It is missing one of its limbs.
Okay.
It doesn't have 3 limbs. You can clearly tell that, there was probably 4. It's just something happened to this beast.
Okay.
And it also has a very large snake tail.
Okay.
And it's just kind of sitting there next to her.
Mhm.
Kind of like there, you can feel and hear that like kind of like low grumbled breathing coming from it.
Mhm.
And her tent is just this gigantic creature to her side.
Mhm.
And just a pile of pillows and blankets in the, kind of behind her.
Mhm.
And she's just kind of sitting at the sand, and at the center there is a campfire,
Okay.
and she's just sitting there.
Is it hurt? He kind of points to it.
Oh, she pats it on its side,
Mm.
and you can see the snake tail kind
Mhm.
of come up and caress the side of her head.
Mm.
Looking at it, go ahead and give me a nature.
Shall do.
I mean, actually, a heal check.
Shall do.
It looks like an old wound,
Okay.
like it's already healed up and stuff. It's missing a limb.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, but it's not fresh. Essentially, is the thing.
Yeah, it
Gotcha.
looks like it was probably something long ago.
Gotcha. Okay. It's kind of, I guess, approach and like kind of find somewhere to sit. I guess.
I mean, there's a spot on the other opposite side of like where you entered,
Mhm.
like on the opposite side of the camp from her, or the fire from her. I mean, there's plenty of spots.
Yeah. He'll just like find any spot really.
Okay. Um, you sit down and you swear to God, it almost sounds like she's purring.
Mm-hmm.
And she reaches in a bag and uh pulls out a small pouch and then sits up and walks over towards you.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of leans down, reaches her hand in the thing, and she pulls out this kind of like white material.
Okay.
And she leans down and kind of does a smear under each of your eyes.
Okay.
The smell hits you. You've smelled this before. This is guano.
Bad
You know
shit.
what guano is? Bat shit.
Yeah.
And then she walks back, and then she repeats the same thing on her face. Walks
Okay.
back over to the bag, pulls out like a little like clay pot. She walks back over to you, dips her hand in it again, and there's like this almost like a blackish green ichor, and she just starts making streaks on your chest that almost looks like a claw mark.
Okay.
You can actually feel her nails kind of digging into your chest a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and she repeats the same thing on her.
Okay.
walks back over to the pot, pulls out another little pouch, and she reaches her hand in, and she pulls out this red granular something, almost like a red sand.
Okay.
And she just dusts it right in front of your face. You
Okay.
kind of like wince a little bit, cough a little bit because you weren't really expecting it.
Yeah.
You look around and like you can see like the red stuff is not sticking to the blackish green ichor,
Mhm.
and it doesn't feel like it's sticking to the guano either. It only seems to be sticking to your skin.
Mhm.
Um, and like it doesn't seem too noticeable on you because of your already red skin. But then she dusts herself with it again, and you can clearly see it on her. And on her, yeah, like it doesn't, like the white and the blackish green is not being covered by the red, even though it hit it. Like it doesn't seem to stick to it at all, only the skin.
Okay.
And then she throws some of it in the fire, and the fire just kind of lights up real big.
Mhm.
And she goes and sits down on the opposite side again.
Okay.
And the tent is starting to fill up with fumes of this smoke. Very herbally, almost like an incense. And she reaches into her bag again and pulls out a bit of ivory or something. You're not quite sure.
Mhm.
And she leans over the fire and she extends a hand out toward you.
He'll take it.
As you go to reach out your hand, she grabs your wrist. And with
Okay.
the ivory, it's almost like a tusk or a horn, she cuts into your hand.
He kind of winces at that, but he's like trying to race it.
Okay. You take 1 point of damage.
Okay. That's why I keep forgetting I have to reset my health again. Sorry. Go ahead.
And she cuts her hand and she looks at you, nods, and you watch as she takes her hand and starts squeezing blood into the fire.
Okay.
And she looks towards you.
He replicates the same thing.
Okay. Again, like you hear that, from the fire and the blood,
Mm-hmm.
and more and more fumes are just piling into this tent. And then she pulls her hand away from the fire, reaches into her bag, and she pulls out this kind of almost like a mat of something green.
Okay.
And she brings it up to her mouth, doesn't put it in her mouth, just kind of pokes it towards her mouth, and then
Mm-hmm.
hands it to you.
He just kind of does. Okay, so she like puts it towards her mouth, but like she didn't ingest it, right?
No, she just did that and then hands it across the fire towards you.
Okay. He takes it and he kind of brings it to his mouth.
And she, with nothing in her hand, she repeats the motion
Okay.
with her mouth open.
Okay. He I guess ingests it.
It is bitter. It is disgusting. Like you
Okay.
almost want to spit it up.
Okay.
But you're like, my teacher's telling me to do it. My senpai
Yeah.
wants this. So you muscle it down. And you feel like in your stomach, like it's starting to shift and shake a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
She smiles, reaches in her bag, and she starts dusting this white powder over the fire.
Okay.
And the fire keeps, uproaring every single time it hits. And she's just in a circle motion, like over the fire,
Mm-hmm.
and just continuing just to let this stuff seep onto the fire. And watching this is almost hypnotic.
Mm-hmm.
And just without thinking about it, your body starts swaying in that same motion.
Mm-hmm.
You start getting dizzy. You can see the fire, the shadows from the fire, like dancing around the tent as the fire's kicking up. And you immediately realize that you are high as fuck. And you're just kind of going for it, going with it. And she continues that circular motion until everything goes black.
Okay.
Silent. Hold on a second. and you're in this sense of darkness for you're not quite sure how long. It almost feels like you're falling, drifting towards something. You're not quite sure where. You're not quite sure what's happening. But just like the first night of your training, you have no control. You feel it. Kind of cold wetness. What do you do?
I guess he'll shift and try to gain a sense of his surroundings.
Okay. You are not in the tent anymore.
Okay. Okay.
You're still naked.
Okay.
You have your dagger
Mm-hmm.
and your crappy bow.
Okay.
What you see is a giant, lush jungle forest. You're not quite sure. It almost seems like a mixture between the two.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what surprises you. Not being in the tent anymore, that doesn't surprise you. What surprises you is the size.
Okay.
This over here is a bush that you've seen plenty of times before.
Mm-hmm.
These vines, you tend to be small vines out from this bush.
Mm-hmm.
This bush is almost 2 stories tall.
Okay.
You see trees. These trees extend to some unknown height,
Mhm.
hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet tall. You look around, the blades of grass are massive.
Okay.
You look around for a while. You swear to God, it almost feels like you've been shrunk,
Mm-hmm.
or the world is just massive.
Okay.
Everything is just to a scale where almost, I mean, like you were almost an insect.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
He'll try to look around. And, like, obviously he gets his like stuff right.
Yeah.
And he'll try to kind of look around and see if what's going on. Like, get a sense of his surroundings.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
Yep.
Okay. You look around, and again, like, it is insane. Everything seems so massive.
Okay.
You look at the 2 puddles in front of you, and you're like, ooh, water. You know,
Mhm.
this is good. Then you really look at the puddles. You look at the bottom one, then you look
Mhm.
at the top one. It's weird. Random puddles in forests and jungles, things like that, they're just random puddles, right?
Mm-hmm.
You take a step back, they look identical, but mirrored.
Yeah.
That's when it hits you. You've tracked animals before in the
Mm-hmm.
forest, and you've tracked animals after it's rained. You know what a footprint filled with water looks like.
Is the footprint filled with water?
Looks like it was probably done by some massive animal,
Okay.
something hooved, and something to the scale that you've never seen before.
Okay.
That feeling and realization sends shivers down your spine,
Oh yeah.
and that's when you hear it. Overhead, you see a massive flying bird.
Mm-hmm.
A bird, but that doesn't have a beak, just a large, toothy maw.
Okay.
The wingspan is probably about 100 feet,
Mm-hmm.
and it is flying about 200 feet above you.
Okay.
What do you do?
First thing he's gonna try to, I guess, get cover under. You said that giant tree over there.
I mean, that's a thick bush.
Okay.
This one has a little bit more like overhead coverage.
Okay. Yeah. See, like whatever like overhead coverage is, he's gonna try to get under that first.
Yeah.
And he's gonna try to track the bird, right? Like he sees like where's it flying?
It's flying. You're not quite sure what direction, but we'll call it relative north.
Okay.
Basically, flying from one tree to the other in that direction.
Okay.
Continue to look around. Boo, 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 boo. You see, as you're looking around off in the distance, maybe 200 feet away, what appears to be a deer.
Okay.
This deer stands about 60 feet tall,
Okay.
with large fanged teeth
Okay.
and sharpened hooves, and the antlers on it all it kind of curls out almost like a bull, and all of the individual other spining antlers kind of point towards the front, and all of them are very sharp, and you watch or you look at it and they seem to be covered in blood with bits of flesh hanging off of it.
Okay.
You kind of just freak out a little bit. You look to your to the west and you hear a brrr, 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 as you see a frog hopping out of one of these bushes.
Mm-hmm.
It is massive. You immediately notice that it has 8 eyes, and you watch as the deer looks towards it, and you watch as the deer starts charging towards the frog. As it gets close, you watch as the frog just like lets out a green cloud. The deer recoils from it, lifts up on its hind legs, and smashes down on the frog with its pointed hooves. And you watch as the deer kind of like snorts and pushes the frog away, and you watch as the deer starts tearing into this massive frog. The frog, mind you, was probably about 20 feet large. And you watch as it picks it apart, picks up the corpse, and starts trotting off towards the west.
Okay.
What do you do?
He is going to, if he can, stealthily follow the deer.
Okay. You go to see where it's going. At this point, given the size of this deer and its gait,
Mm-hmm.
there's no way you could ever catch up to it.
Okay.
I'll say that right now. I'll give
Fair
you
enough. Yeah. Yeah.
because again, this deer is a good 60 feet tall.
Yeah. So it's like galloping would just be miles ahead of what I. Yeah. Okay.
You also notice that those hoofs are a lot smaller than whatever made these tracks.
Okay.
So you get the sense that there may be bigger things out there.
Okay.
And you also notice that everything around here, give me a nature check.
Shall do.
Okay. You've seen predators and you've seen prey.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the things that you've just seen would probably fall in the prey category. These were not prey.
The deer and the frog.
And the bird.
Okay. So they were not prey.
No.
Okay.
They seem to be designed to be hunters, to
Okay.
be, predators.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're sitting here listening, you can hear all sorts of other animal calls coming from all different directions.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them sound massive. You hear a howl. It's hard to grasp the scope with everything in the scale that it is,
Mm-hmm.
but you almost get the sense that whatever made it could have been a mile away and still was just that large and loud. Or
Okay.
it was 100 yards away. You honestly can't tell.
Mm-hmm.
Your whole sense of what nature is thrown off. So it's kind of hard to gauge everything right now.
Yeah. Okay.
And right about this point, you hear rustling
Okay.
coming from, and I'm going to use the center of the map to show direction. Not from
Okay.
coming from that way.
Okay. He's gonna turn around and arrow at the readies and a backup.
How far back are you going?
Probably about here.
Okay. You hear it's getting closer and closer.
Am I getting any sense of the size of it?
It's maybe the size of a horse, maybe larger.
Okay.
The part that you do notice, give me a perception check.
Shall do.
I'm pretty sure you're gonna pass this perception just because it says it doesn't sound like it has 4 legs. It doesn't sound like it has 8 legs. It sounds like it has a lot of legs. You hear that
Okay.
coming at you very fast, and it seems to be beelining in your direction.
Okay. Because like there's no cover in this. Actually, wait. That bush is thick, but is it like?
I mean, you could try to hide in it,
Yeah, he's gonna try to do that.
and it's about 20 yards away right now.
He's gonna try to beeline it and hide.
15, 10. You get to about here
Where? Okay.
before it breaks through the brush, and you turn around readying an arrow.
Mm-hmm.
You see a massive centipede with
Mhm.
2 very large horns. Instead of mandibles and like a little small mouth, you see a large gaping maw
Okay.
with what you can count maybe 30, 40 rows of teeth all along its mouth going deep into its throat. And you watch as the mandibles spread open and you see it look directly at you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gunning right for you.
Okay.
And as soon as you continue to run back, you hear rustling behind you as well.
Okay.
And
Okay.
over and right behind you, you see a massive shadow jumping over you. As this large creature comes over, grabs the centipede-like creature with its 2 front arms,
Mm-hmm.
with these clawed hands, grabs it by the side, pushes it down, and starts biting into the side of it, ripping it apart. You see bits of chitin just flying in the air as its carapace is ripped asunder. Like a greenish black ichor is kind of pouring from it, and this creature is just burrowing into it.
Okay.
What do you do?
Is there any like rustling I'm hearing from that area?
Not anymore.
Okay, he's gonna try to hide in there and have a bow
As
ready.
soon as you take a step back,
Okay.
this creature's head pops up, starts snorting like almost like a pig, and it immediately looks over towards you.
Okay.
And you hear it make a sound almost like a rat.
Mm-hmm.
The body almost looks like a fat rat.
Okay.
The front of it kind of looks radish, but somewhat boar-like. And the 2 massive arms up front almost look like gorilla arms.
Okay.
And it just puts both fists on the ground. And it just lowers its head and starts charging right after you.
Okay.
It gets to about here and then leaps at you.
Mm-hmm.
It is midair. You said you were readying an attack, so go ahead and launch it.
Okay. We'll try. Choo.
Okay. Both bounce off of its hide.
Shit.
As it leaps through the air, seeing those bows, the arrows bounce off of its hide,
Mm-hmm.
seeing this large, massive creature barreling down at you, you know. You've seen prey and you've seen predators.
Mm-hmm.
You are the prey.
Mm-hmm. So, he's
At
gonna.
this point,
Okay.
because this is midair, about ready to attack you.
Yeah.
At this point, it's slowly and almost in slow motion. Yet life flashes before your eye. You see your parents. You see your village. You see the time traveling alone. You see the time that you met your new friends in Elis. The adventures, the trials, tribulations, and all of it. Survival. Your life has been survival. Your father, he taught you to survive. Your mother, she helped you survive. Your friends, your allies, they helped you survive. The squawking box, they helped you survive. Jacques helped you survive. All of these things well up in your brain of all the people who helped you survive and all the survival and effort you've put in. Last week or two you spent with Reyna, Jesus Christ, Rainy. All the work and effort you've put in, all of it's going to be gone. Your prey. That's the fate of prey. Prey gets hunted. And that brief moment of will being subsided by just the inevitability of what's about ready to happen, a spark happens in you. Fuck that noise. You're not a prey, you're a predator. And you quickly, instinctively transform into your devilish form. You've already let loose your crappy arrows, so you drop the bow and you just bare your fangs and your claws at this creature as it's coming towards you. And right when you're ready for this clash to happen, poof! The creature is knocked hundreds of feet away. And you're just sitting there panting. Just that bit of adrenaline still standing. And then you notice to the side the entity that just pushed it away.
Okay, what do I see?
Give me a second. You see
Okay.
this.
Oh wow.
Remember how I said the trees are massive to a scale that you can't even fathom? And how some of the blades of grass are large, massive, thick,
Yeah.
much taller than you. Put that into scope of how large this creature is.
Okay.
And you look at the back hoofed legs, and you immediately realize what creature made these massive foot puddles.
Mm-hmm.
This creature is staring at you,
Uh-huh.
almost with these lines across it glowing in this kind of yellowish orange energy. It seems to be pulsating,
Mm-hmm.
and this creature seems to be just staring at you. And then you hear it in a kind of gruff, feminine voice. Who are you to traipse across my forest?
I am Conrad Havocville. He just says very, just very, for lack of a word, sternly. He just says it like very, just like assuredly.
She sniffs towards you, getting closer.
Mm-hmm.
You are not from here.
No, I am not.
The sniff. Rainy. And you hear a low grumbling growl that shakes all the bushes, all the leaves. Every animal in the surrounding area, all the noises that you've heard, come to a complete stop.
Okay.
You don't know what this entity is, but you get the sense that every bit of nature has a food chain.
Yeah.
You think that wherever you are, this is the top of the food chain.
Mm-hmm.
And just leans in really close to you. Its snout is twice the size of you.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, you feel the breath, and you can smell the decay of animals, that just deep rooted, kind of breath. And you feel like you're getting sucked towards your back.
Mm-hmm.
And you're being pulled, but you're instinctively trying to stand your ground against this creature. Like every fiber in your being is like, don't run, don't do anything. If
Mm-hmm.
you do, you're dead.
Yeah.
That weird pulling sensation just keeps going. And then the creature pulls back and says, I will give you a warning to her. And she just lets out a very deep breath at you. Almost like a grayish cloud comes out of her snout.
Mm-hmm.
And you just instinctually breathe in, and you just feel that air going inside of you as you're it feels again almost like you're being pulled towards there. You're being pulled back and smacked right on the sand.
kind of like like that thing when you spring up, like like you're very like alert.
Yes.
He does that, like, essentially.
You are right outside of Raimi's tent.
He just kind of like has a very bestial like growl to him. He's like just tries to calm himself down, and he enters the tent.
Oh, Raimi's standing out there.
Oh, okay. Like
She's standing right at the entryway.
I saw an entity, something humongous.
You see her eyes go wide for a moment, and you feel something bellowing up inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
You let it out.
Yeah.
You let out a roar. That kind of dark gray cloud gets exhausted out of you.
Mm-hmm.
It blows her tent back. That large, massive creature that was sitting in her tent literally runs and cowers behind a bush. You watch as Raimi just kneels down, and you've never seen Raimi look this submissive before. And she just goes on all fours and then falls back. It's just kind of laid out, and she just kind of like just stays there frozen. And you watch as all of the animals surrounding you are all fleeing. You turn around, and the white dragon is cowering and knocking into this wall, cracking it, trying to flee from you.
Like Conrad, like while he's like observing this, he has a very like assured like something like that like not a lot of people like see like because usually he has a very nervous demeanor. He just kind of like raises an eyebrow at it, like looking very just confident, and he looks back at Raimi.
And she's just kind of sitting there, still on her back.
He just kind of walks up to her.
Okay. She's not moving at all.
Mhm.
Have you ever
Okay.
seen a dog who's in trouble and they just kind of plop on their back and just hold still?
Mm-hmm.
That's what she's doing.
I take it the message was delivered.
Just utter frozen fear.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. And he just walks past her and goes inside the tent.
There's no tent.
Oh, it blew away.
Yeah, the tent's gone.
Okay. Sorry, I thought you said it blew up. I didn't see it. Like,
No, it blew away.
Hmm. Okay, that kind of changed my plan.
You are hungry now, though. That
Yeah.
whole ordeal made you pretty famished.
Huh. I could use a bite to eat. I don't know about you. And he kind of goes, I assume, to back where the food was, and he just walks off and goes to eat
You know what,
something.
Conrad? After that ordeal,
Mm-hmm.
you're hungry. You don't want fucking fish and shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you want?
What?
You want food.
Okay.
Real food.
So you know what? He's just gonna walk out, like fully walk out,
You do so.
and he just essentially just
You
walks
watch
all the way.
as all the guards that were surrounding the dragon are trying to get it under control. As you
Mhm.
walk by, the dragon is pulling away from you, like
Okay.
towards the wall. It continues to crack against the wall. All the guards are like kind of staring at you. Even like the brass court guards are all like in shock. You walk by, some of the elven ladies you didn't notice have all ran behind this building.
Mhm.
Apparently, they were watching you still today, and they're all sitting behind here, cowered in a corner,
Mhm.
all scared, and a couple of them seem to be crying.
He just continues walking.
Everyone just steps out of your way.
Mhm.
And you walk through all of an oasis,
Mhm.
completely butt ass naked with your
Yep.
shitty bow.
I guess he's just gonna go to Dick's.
Okay. You make your way to Dick's. You open up the door.
Mhm.
Dick's is there, and there's a few other patrons. Seems like during your time away, the place has reopened again.
Mhm.
And Dick's in Gilneth to kind of look at you, like kind of eyebrow raised at like why the fuck you're walking in naked after not seeing you for a month. Um, and you also see Granite there, kind of eyebrow raised towards you, and Shale's sitting on the or at the bar, giggling really hard as you walk in. So what do you do?
Conrad is going to just walk up, sit at the stool. I'm gonna get some food. He just says.
Sure. You're still covered in bat shit and stuff too.
Oh yeah, I assume so.
Yeah. And he just looks at you. He's like, I suspect you don't have a coin purse on you at the moment.
Not at the moment.
Okay, you just stay right there. Hey, Gilda, get this man a drink. He looks like he's been through some shit. And she pours you a drink, kind of smiling at you. And then you feel a hand touching your back.
Looks.
It is Alphine.
Hello.
Oh, aren't you looking rough and tumble? Like in the beard, and she reaches up, and you reach up instinctively. Your beard's longer than what it was when you started, when you went into Ramy's tent. Feels like almost like another week's worth. You actually have a pretty fine beard going on right now.
Okay. Like full on like mountain man beard kind of?
Kind of.
Gotcha. Grew it myself.
She giggles at it. She's like, oh, you're the first one to get back.
Oh?
Yeah, the rest of your friends all headed out not too long after Ramy came in and dragged you out of here.
Okay. He just kind of like, I assume he has his drink. He just sips it.
Yeah. It's fucking good. It's cold. It's not shitty banana stuff. And you know this one isn't going to give you the runs.
Oh, yeah.
And she just kind of looks down at your naked crotch. She's like, so after you're done eating, you want to come up to my room and tell me about it?
Sure.
She just raises an eyebrow, smiles, and she like smacks your face a little bit, and she's like, I'll be upstairs. Don't keep me waiting. A minute later, Dix comes out with one of his pies. He's like, don't worry, this one's a good one.
Good.
Look like you need some meat on your bones, so I got my 3 meat one here for you.
And Conrad just like kind of like, you know, takes it and just digs into it. Like I feel like you wouldn't even like bother with like utensils. You just like looking like.
Gilda goes to hand you a fork, and you just reach in your hand, just start like it's a hot pie, but you know you're keeping so it doesn't bother you.
Oh yeah.
Fucking wolf it down.
After he wolfs it down, he's like, now if you'll excuse me, I need to go see a lady. And he goes upstairs.
Yeah, you turn around and get up. You go to stand up and like turn around, and there's like a Goliath standing there. Massive dude. He like looks down at you. And he has just this mean look, but then looks down at you. Sorry, and he moves out of the way. He almost had that like pose, like he was about ready to start something. Just chose not to for some reason.
Doesn't even acknowledge him. Just walks upstairs.
Okay. You walk up to the 3rd floor. No idea which one Delphine's room is. Or Alphine. That'd be really weird if Delphine was there. But you do see a door that's cracked. You just walk up to it, kick the door open, and you see her laying there. And as the camera pans out and you close the door, that's where we're gonna end tonight's session.
Okay.
Abeke. And I need you to prepare everything up to level 11.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yay!
Okay.
Congratulations!
It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny because like if you think about it, like this is just my offhand commentary. Like if you're plugged into a survival situation, right? I feel like at most like the first day is gonna kind of go like how well, like it was like for Conrad. It's gonna be shit because you're like like you're just like kind of like in like okay how do I do this kind of crap, and then like afterwards you kind of get used to it and whatnot, and then it's just kind of
That's
fine.
why I had to wait until you had everything secured before we did the time skip.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I mean, like it kind of sucked. It definitely like had that like feeling of like the harshness of survival, which is cool.
Because it's been many years since you've had to live like that, like
Oh
that
yeah,
harsh.
Right. I should.
And maybe it gave Conrad a little bit of confidence that he needed.
yeah, because like kind of like what I said, like he's always had like a bit of a nervous demeanor, kind of like that.
Well, I hope you enjoyed it. I put a lot of effort into all your guys' Paragon Pass stuff.
It was very interesting.
I should be stopping the stream. Bye bye.
But you have a few questions about where you went. Okay, we'll see you guys. Tuesday for doggos, and then Wednesday, and
more
all the other
training.
days for the rest of the stuff. Bye.
Bye.